rubbish and a bit cringe. And I think it did get somewhere to like once we were like up and running with it. Like, but it took so long to actually get somewhere with that story. We need women that can put on great matches. I mean, think and remember about how exciting it was when we got that Britt Baker Thunder Rosa match. So do you remember that match? I think it was like a anything goes type thing, and Britt's nose was busted, and that was, people were raving about that match. People were saying it was one of the best women's matches they'd ever seen between Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker. And so I think that, that feud between them two, and certainly that match. I'm not even going to bother giving an answer there because honestly, I don't think there's a single person in the world that cares. Then we get to the main card. And that's just stealing out of WWE.
And he's going to come over here and tell me he's hungry, and I'm going to tell him to get lost. I can't feed him anymore, Eric.
Names like Naomi, who'd been on the roster a while, the Bella twins, you would, and he cut the women. These might be the only women's matches you get that way, as to what we should be doing on a much more regular basis. And I'm not just talking about anything goes matches. I'm talking about women's matches that people are buzzing about. I'm talking about women's matches that are the talk of the town. If you think back to WCW, people loved the cruiserweight division because you had a group of guys that could all go, and people knew that it was going to be like, if it was time for the cruiserweights, you knew that you was going to be seeing some fun, and you knew that you was going to be entertained. And that certainly wasn't the bathroom break. And I think if you could get the women's division to have that same feel, where you're going to see some good stuff, that this is going to be worth your time, that the women's matches always deliver because we're using a pool of 5 or 6 women that are so good. It doesn't matter if it's Britt versus Tony, or Tony versus Jamie, or Jamie versus Britt. You've got like this pool of women that you can do these matches with. Each combination is a banger. Each combination is intriguing. Each woman has got like an identity and whatever, and let's go. But the problem is, like, you have to sit through Anna Jay versus Julia Hart, which I know people might be excited about the future and the development and all that kind of stuff, but it's really hurting the perception of women's wrestling. The guys can absorb it because the guys have got Jericho, and they've got Kenny Omega, and they've got Bryan Danielson, and they've got all these other guys that can, Samoa Joe, CM Punk, like Cesaro, Jon Moxley for all his fault. The guys can definitely take a Nick Wayne, like, who is doing all right, a Hook, who I think has done a lot of learning. These are the people that you'd put in like an NXT. But we can afford to use a few on Dynamite because you've got so many guys that are going to deliver at some point in the show. With the women, Anna Jay against Penelope Ford or whatever, Sky Blue against, I don't know, flipping Willow. These might be the only women's matches you get that week. you might, you know, there might not be any other women's match that can change the perception that women's wrestling is just not very good. So I think you gotta strip it all back, man. I think you gotta strip it all back. I think it's unfair to the talent that aren't quite ready to be putting them in that position and expecting them to shine and expecting them to, you know, deliver OMG matches when they're just not. They're not trained. They're not at that level. Like, they can go out there and get by, survive, not drown, not kill each other. Like, they can do that, but they're not at the level where they can go out there and put on, like, you know, a 4-star match. They're nowhere near it. So, and certainly if you're going to compare it to some of the other action, poor women having to follow flipping the Lucha Bros, you know? You got the Lucha Bros and like all this stuff, the Young Bucks, all this kind of carnage, you know how you use, like, everyone does every move that's ever been invented. And then you're going to shove poor Anna Jay out there and go, good luck. Hope it goes well. Don't ruin women's wrestling. Ugh. So it's cruel, man. That's what it is. It's cruel. I feel like AEW is playing a horrible trick on women. Putting them in like a really hard spot. So a long answer, but I really love women's wrestling. As I said, I grew up with Alundra Blaze, and I've seen many interviews with her where she said that they knew they had to give 120% because they were fighting not just for themselves, but for women's wrestling overall, because it was just hard to get onto TV. And there hadn't been a division. And unfortunately, the division got cut in like 95. So there's a very small window of like late 93, I think it is, 94, definitely. And then in 95, it's gone because Vince needed to save money and he cut the women. The women's division, done, gone. Like that's how disposable it was in the mid-90s. Women's division, done, thanks. Need to save money. Could you imagine that now? Just getting rid of the women completely. Crazy. So yeah, I credit them. And then also, it's mental to think that if you go back to WrestleMania 1, we had Wendy Richter and we had Cyndi Lauper, and they were, you know, they were trying. Vince had plans to try and make Wendy the female Hulk Hogan, in the sense of, here's the number one guy in the world, here's the number one girl in the world. And he had plans to build her to that level. And, you know, if you look at the Rock and Wrestling connection, you know, Hogan had Mr. T, Wendy Richter had Cyndi Lauper as her manager. And, you know, a large story around WrestleMania 1 and building to WrestleMania 1 is all about if Wendy can get the title. And obviously she does get the title. And then she loses it again and then wins it back at WrestleMania 1. And obviously it wouldn't work out. She, you know, wanted a new contract and all this stuff. But women's wrestling, believe it or not, like Vince was really trying. People forget that there was a big women's match at WrestleMania 1 that had Cyndi Lauper involved and the Fabulous Moolah, Wendy Richter, Lalani Kai. Like, they were all involved with like a key match. It wasn't a bathroom break, that match. That was one of the key matches in year 1. It's crazy to think that in 1985 we have this big key match that had plenty of promotion behind it. It wasn't a Divas match or anything. It was a proper for the title. I think it was it in the co-spot? It might even have been co-main. It might even have been in the co-main spot.
Really?
Like, it wasn't just, you know, chucked in the middle of the cards. I can't remember where it was on the card. It was either third from the end or it was like in the co-main spot just before the main event. And there was plenty of promotion behind it. You know, the company went from that to, as we said in 95, like, we need to get rid of all the women. And then, like, obviously the Attitude Era is the Attitude Era. It's not a great time for women's wrestling. And then, you know, we slowly build towards where we're bringing in Sasha, we're bringing in Becky. Look, I suppose in a way, look at what WWE did when they hit that refresh button in 2015. What WWE did to kind of restart their women's division, to reinvigorate their women's division, was they got 3 groups of 3. They had 9 women. Right, so you had Team Bella, which was the Bellas, and I forget who was with the Bellas. There was was it Alicia Fox that was with the Bellas? It was I think it was Alicia Fox. Might have been the Bellas and Alicia Fox. Then you had Team Bad, which was Naomi and Sasha and Tamina. And then you had
just oil.
What were they called? PCB, was it? PCB, Paige, Charlotte, and Becky. I think they wanted to be called like the Submission Sorority or something, and then they found out that was like a porn name, so they couldn't use that. But there was like the briefest moment where they were going to call themselves Submission Sorority, and then they Google searched it. It turned out to be like the name of a porn thing. So they were like, oh, okay, we'll just go with the initials of our name. And I think it was PCB. So, yeah, you had these three groups, and you had this mini faction war. And so you had like new talent that was coming up, but it was talent they knew could go. Right? I mean, you are bringing in Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair. You are, and putting them with established names like Naomi, who'd been on the roster a while, the Bella twins. You know, you was Tamina, unfortunately, but you know, you created these three factions and you had them warring. Maybe AEW takes a leaf out of that book. You know, I was saying try and get it to 6 women that can go, see if you can build it up to that. Maybe a different direction you could go is by having 3 groups of 3 and starting a faction war. You know, you've got Britt's team. You've already got like a Ruby. Well, you did have Ruby, Tony, and Soraya. You already had like the Outcasts. That could have been one. You know, Britt with Jamie, and maybe someone else could go in there. That could be another. And then you like, you know, set up another group, and then maybe you could do some stories there. And that's just stealing out of WWE's playbook from 2015. That's what they did. So, you know, there's lots of things you can do to help the women. Let's put it that way. But definitely, I think that you've got to make the women's matches matter. They've got to feel like they're not bathroom breaks. Really, really important. And I think it's cruel, to be honest, to put some of the women onto Dynamite and onto Collision that just aren't at that level. They're not ready for that. It would be like putting people straight onto Raw and straight onto SmackDown, you know, that just aren't ready for that. I mean, Jade Cargill, I would argue, is not ready yet to go straight to Raw and SmackDown. And she's already spent plenty of time on AEW TV, right? She's spent plenty of time. She's like 50-0. So I'd argue she's still not ready for Raw and SmackDown. So it shows the level that the women are at that are getting onto Dynamite compared to what level they need to be at to get onto WWE's main roster, you know. There's a big difference there. So, Mitchell, shout out to you. I hope that's answered it. We kind of got stuck into that a fair bit, but it's a good subject, and it's one that I feel quite passionate about because, as I said, I really love women's wrestling. And I always have since I was young because the women always had to try and steal the show. You know, Alundra Blaze said we always had to try and outdo the men because we were fighting for not only our own jobs, but for the division. We knew the division could be cut. Now, I just don't think these women think that way now. I think they just turn up, get the paycheck, and that's it. They don't think that they need to try and outdo the guys. Because to be honest, I think a lot of them wouldn't even know where to start. I think a lot of them ain't got a clue how to do that. You know, I know I keep having a pop at Anna Jay. I'm just using her as an example, but Anna Jay wouldn't have a clue, like, if how to try and like outdo the guys. She ain't got the training. You know, at least Alundra Blaze had spent years over in Japan, like learning how to be like a wrestler, and she'd, I think, competed in the AWA as well. Like she'd been around. You know, she'd paid her dues basically. She knew when the bell went what she needed to do to excite a crowd. That understanding is just not there with a lot of these women. Because they're learning. They're learning. Some of them find themselves in a very hard position. Matt, shout out to you, my friends. Shout out to you. Matt says, Days, could a third big hitter enter the marketplace? It's if a rich oligarch One, it's would there be enough meat on the bone, meaning wrestlers, TV deals, spectators, to feed three big companies? Yes. I don't know that you would be able to do it in America. I think you could. I mean, it's going to come down to how exciting your product is, because, to be honest, even in America, if someone else came along with like a great crop of wrestlers that they were trying to bring through, and they were picking up, say, Edge, Mercedes. So I'm thinking, say I got a load of money and I decided I wanted to open a wrestling company, right? I've won the lottery. I'm that guy that won the $1 billion lottery, right? So I'm a billionaire now. I've won the lottery, and I'm like, right, I want my own wrestling promotion, but I want to start it from scratch. I can do that. There's nothing stopping me doing that. I think getting TV is going to be difficult, but that's going to be your big hurdle, right? I think that's going to be the hardest part, actually. Because you've got no previous track records, and you're going to need some names, I think, to make the TV companies feel confident that you're going to get some sort of number, because you've got no standing, no fan base. So you're going to need to try and get some names. That's going to be your hardest part. Whether you could go and get the biggest names that are out there, could I go and get CM Punk? I'd need Punk. It's free. It's certainly not free to bring in, and he might have been burnt by the industry, but it's going to depend as to whether I can get them names. Can I get Goldberg? Can I get CM Punk? Can I get whoever is out there that's got any kind of name recognition that has been released by WWE? Those names that got released that for some reason haven't been picked up, or they've gone to Impact. Maybe some of their contracts coming up, and I can get someone from there. I need to get a group together where I can say, give me a TV deal because I've got this, blah, 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 blah. Whoever it might be. I've managed to get Mercedes for a few dates. I've managed to do this. I need to get a group together just so I can get the TV companies confident that I'm going to draw some sort of revenue, right? What I might have to do is actually put a show on to show them that I can sell tickets. Very much like how AEW started with All In. They sold 10,000 tickets and showed that there was a fan base that was ready to support this thing. You might have to do something along those lines. If I could do all that and jump through them hoops, I think there is a pool of talent untapped in Europe. And maybe I feel like Japan maybe might be getting served, but you could certainly look at Australia. If you look at like Billy Kay, and you look at Grayson Waller, and you look at some of the kind of people that are coming out of Australia, it feels like there is a wrestling scene in Australia that it would be definitely worth having a look at and seeing who's down there at the moment. Clearly there's something happening now. I think there's a promotion in Sydney. I'd be very interested to know what's who's the champ in Sydney at the moment, who's the big players in Australia. I'd want to know. I mean, you've got Dakota Kai, for example. You've got Bronson Reed. You've got Grayson Waller. Look at the success that WWE have had with NXT UK. It's discovered Pete all teams looking for fresh new players and trying to find the best players in the world. I feel like it's the same with wrestling. There's plenty of promotions that are looking for that best young talent, and I'm sure people are checking, and they've got scouts that are looking at what's going on in Australia, what's happening over here, what's happening over there. But I feel like you could find it. I think you could find enough. There's an indie scene in Canada, but So, you know, maybe you just have a little look there. I'm sure that AEW have got scouts. I'd have people that I pay to just go around the world watching wrestling, just trying to find the next things. It'd be worth doing it. I mean, how much are you going to pay these people? 50,000 a year? 50,000? I've got a million. 50,000 a year. Couple of scouts. 3-4 scouts, a couple of 100,000, and I've got one over in Australia, I've got one that does Europe, I've got one that does, say, Mexico, I've got one that's based in, I don't know, India, I could have one in India, I could have one in Japan, just trying to find that talent that's coming through. I feel like you could do it. I can't see why you couldn't do it. Getting the TV thing, I think, would be the hardest part. I think there's always, look at the Performance Center. If everything else fails, right, you can always just take failed athletes and turn them into. I mean, Jade was a basketball star who looked doing that. Bianca was a CrossFit athlete who has been turned into a wrestler. Like, there's plenty of examples of basketball players, American football players, and so, like, the Performance Center, I've said, incredible. Now, I think what the Performance Center, I think it's industry leading, and somewhere that Tony is kind of, which, I mean, I think a strong. The Performance Center is, it's got some of the best trainers in the world. It's got multiple rings. It's got promo rooms. It's, do you know what I mean? Like, he was cutting promos with, like, Dusty Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes used to do promo class, right? I mean, that's hard to compete with. And certainly the Nightmare Factory are not competing with that. So you need to have, like, some sort of performance center that can take this talent that's being found. Or failing that, take some athletes, exactly like WWE do. They do their tryouts, they get athletes, they then try and create stars.
You know, I'm gonna take.
It doesn't matter if you haven't got, like, NXT on TV. Don't forget, NXT was just on the WWE network for the longest time. It wasn't on TV. So, you know, as long as you're putting on a regular show in Florida or wherever, and that talent is getting chance to learn and then put into practice in front of a live audience what it's learned, and it's improving and developing, it doesn't really matter if it's not on TV, right? It's your developmental, it doesn't matter.
So I feel like that's something that
you know, for the longest time, FCW, I think, was only shown in Florida. Like, that wasn't something that we were watching around the world, FCW. And then NXT, as we said, was just on the WWE network. It's only recently gone to the USA network. So, yeah, I think the model is there to be copied. I think there's a reason why WWE do what they do, because they've got the knowledge and experience in knowing that is the right way forward. That is how you do this. You get a PC, you do your tryouts, you try to find the best in the world. If you can't, you bring in athletes, you turn them into like wrestlers. You've got your developmental brands where they can grow. And then when it comes to Raw and SmackDown, or when it comes to Collision and Dynamite, or when it comes to whatever the name of your show would be, your top show, you are showcasing the best of what you have. Like, you are showcasing talent when it is ready. And then we just had a big conversation about how I don't think the women are ready. And I don't think that in AEW the women have had a chance to grow and learn and mental eyes. All of us that watch, you know, Dynamite.
Coming to you on this one first. You look at
because I mean, you tune into Dynamite. It's their flagship show. You expect 2 hours of great top quality content. I mean, there should be no reasons if you like are doing well in the show and then you've got an Anna Jay match or a flipping Sky Blue match or whatever, and it crashes the ratings. Everyone's battery rate time. I mean, that's hurting your rating. You know, all of a sudden the show that was going to do $1 million is doing 870 because your average has decreased because everyone's done one. Because I'll come back for the main event. I don't need to watch this. Can't afford to have segments. where people can walk away. You've got to keep people like engaged for 2 hours. That's hard. But you know, if you've got amazing wrestlers who can go out there and deliver in each of the segments, it makes it a hell of a lot easier. So, is there a space for a third brand? I think there is. Certainly in Europe, we're crying out for a big brand in Europe. Absolutely crying out. You know, I think that there's a real hunger here for wrestling. That's been here for the longest time. I think that we've been served by having WWE come over selling it out, 80,000 people tickets sold. And now WWE are bringing over the likes of Money in the Bank and Clash at the Castle, and there's talk of NXT Europe and all this kind of stuff. I think that if you're a billionaire and you did a wrestling company in Europe, I think you could find, certainly if you got CM Punk, I think you could find, and I think there's enough in the UK. And to be honest, you could easily do tours of America and get your program onto TV in America, because TV networks just want ratings. If you can prove that you can get ratings, then any TV network in the world is going to be interested. So if you can show in the UK that there's a hunger and a fan base and that you're getting ratings, well, you will get on to TV in America. It's going to be tricky to kind of make the timings work. But you know, might not be too bad. I mean, what you could do is you could do an hour of like dark matches that could go live around the world at 10 p.m. UK time, which would be 5 p.m. American time, and you know, maybe keep it PG, so that, you know, obviously for the kids, whatever, live from 5 in America, and it'd be 10 o'clock here. If you can get names like CM Punk, you can like use your billions to be one of the largest battles, say your talent that's coming through, make sure you're booking. There's no two ways about it. If you you're losing serious money, and you're going to have to ride that out. I don't know if there's a way that you could start a wrestling company, but I think that you could. I think there is a place in the world, but I think you might be able to make it work in America as well. LA Dark Knight said Edge and Bono walk into a bar. Barman says, not you two. LA Dark Knight, shout out to you, my friend. Appreciate it. Godfather's Hope said, very bad Mexican. Godfather's Hope, shout out to you.
To see her in-ring action last night on Collision.
Yeah,
this woman who seems to be on the ascent.
What was the question? Am I booking him as heel or face? I mean, I'm putting him as face, 100%. If I'm bringing Edge in, I'm putting him as face. I mean, if Edge decides that he's coming to AEW, it's going to be really hard to get people to boo him. It's going to be really hard. He is someone. I mean, I don't think there are, but there are. Can we not just enjoy and be happy for wrestlers going wherever they're going? Like, there's been a bit of backlash to Jade going to WWE from AEW fans. And you know, you've got like Kenny put a tweet out saying there's no war. Just be happy, like, for people that, you know, there's enough to go around. So giddy at the fact that Edge had turned his back on WWE, right, when we know there's a contract extension that could have been signed, turned his back on WWE and he's chose to come to AEW, chose to come here. So that would mean a lot to them. It's going to be, and they could probably boo him because, okay, this is what we're meant to do. Like, we'll play along, kind of a thing. But really, they're going to be giddy. That he's turned his back on WWE as a massive name. Certainly when they've just lost CM Punk as well at a time where it's going to be hard to get them to boo Edge. But the AEW fans will play along. They will play along if you so want them to.
All of the members
but no, I'd be Wi-Fi it. I'd definitely be looking to bring him in as a baby face. Right, let's blast down the cards and we will just see what it is we're dealing with, because actually I don't know if there's been any matches that have been added today.
Don Callis is a wild boy. He's a wild, evil boy.
Right. Wrestle Dream. We're going to start with a 10-bell salute, apparently, for Antonio Inoki, who sadly passed away. I think it was like a year ago.
Don Callis, and he seems to have it all figured out. They just keep growing. I've never seen a Mega So I've never seen a Bushi beaten up that badly, like when Takeshita
on Wrestle Dream. A new era in AEW will begin.
We did get see Chris Jericho and Omega team up for the first time ever.
Is this the
What do you think of the chemistry?
is this the first premium live event pay-per-view without? He did say at a press conference, like, don't read too much into that.
Now, okay, let's talk
Right,
Sammy Guevara
on
here,
the
because at
pre-show,
Wrestling,
we
got
have
to
got
see
four
of
matches.
him turning on
So
Chris
we've got the
Jericho,
Acclaimed
making his way
against
over to the Don Callis
TDT.
family.
I don't think we have. I don't
Fair
know
enough.
if this has come out of. I don't know where this has come from. That's another problem. Some of these matches ain't got a clue where they come from. I will take the blame on that because I don't watch Collision.
It's Swerve's
But
house.
I think the Acclaimed.
But knock.
Luchasaurus against Nick Wayne. Then Josh Barnett against Claudio. It's pretty fun, isn't it? It's pretty fun. Definitely down for the match. I would imagine Claudio, because I don't think we'd be putting Josh over, who I don't think we've seen before. And I'm not sure we'll see again. But it's a good little match for a kickoff show. Definitely impressed with that. Then we had Shane Taylor Promotions taking on Kojima, Lee, Athena, Starks. What the hell is this? I don't even know what it is. Why is this a thing? Why is it non-dot?
On Dynamite
Right?
between Hangman
So,
and Swerve. I mean, those two
I'm not even going to bother that today because honestly, I don't think there's a single person in the world that
advantage to Swerve being there.
then we get to the main cards. We've got Bryan Danielson against Zack Sabre Jr. I'm going to go Zack Sabre Jr. I said before, I think Danielson, I understand the argument would be, oh, hang on, you've just said, like, these people are winning because we ain't ever going to see the other person again, and you're saying that Zack Sabre's going to be Bryan Danielson.
But he did say
The reason why I'm saying that is because I think this is
I mean, you know,
a dream match, you know, Wrestle Dream,
contract
I
signing was that
think,
better
is
to
named
to
after,
prepare
like,
on the
a
ascent that
dream
landing.
matches.
Do you think that
And this
Hangman
would
is,
be
like,
that
good
match.
for a match, or is that going to get in the
For
way?
me, it's to do with, like, dream matches, and this would be the dream match on the card. So this is the one that I think has got, like, the most
Guys, you know, I'm coming to you for
interest,
the
if you will.
predictions. Who's
We
walking
told
away
us, he said that the one person he did want to face was Zack Sabre Jr. And the reason for that is because Wrestling Observer, their most technical wrestler award, is called the Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson. Other than that, he's Sabre Jr. And Brian Danielson was like, I can't even win the awards that I want. Instead, Zack Sabre Jr. is winning my award. So maybe the two against each other match on has to be able to go either way. I think that there has to be a chance that Zack Sabre does win this. And I think because it's about wrestling, technical wrestling, the performance is a lot more important than the result. The performance,
This is what he needs to do. Is
they are going to want this to be Steamboat Savage. They are going to want this to be Steamboat Flair. They're going to want this to be on Mega Okada, right? They're going to want this to be a match that you remember
where Eddie Kingston
for
is
a
supposed to
long
work. That being said,
like the industry remembers for a long time. Like they're not looking at 5 stars,
we are
they're
moments
looking
away from
at
the start
20
of
stars,
Wrestle
right?
Kingdom,
They're going to
where
want
we will be
this
honoring
to
Antonio
bang.
Inoki.
Yeah. I don't think it matters who wins it. I don't think it makes any difference whatsoever. I said this the other day, like, do people remember who won out of McMahon, Ricky Steamboat? So it never gets spoken about. Everyone the matches, no one talks about who won it. And this is the same with this match. I think they're going to want you to talk about how great it was, no matter who won it. So I think that Danielson would be more than willing, wouldn't be bothered in the slightest, to lay down and take the L as long as this match is the banger that he wants it to be. Not be thrilled at his now 5-star, I don't know, his CM replacement, losing a match on this next W card. I don't think Danielson cares about the result. So it's going to come down to Tony cares. He wins. I'm going to say Zack Sabre Jr. wins. Get Swerve Strickland. Going to go Swerve. Think he needs it. MJF against the Righteous. I think the titles. I think tag titles just get in the way. So I'm totally down for him losing it. But it's probably a chance we see those mass people again here. So yeah, I'm going to go with. I'll say MJF retains. But I'd love him to lose the tag titles. Don't think they should have had him in the first place. Chris Jericho and Golden Elite against Don Callis family. Don Callis family need it more. Christian Cage against Darby Allin. I'd keep the belt on Christian. I think it's really fun. Eddie Kingston against Shibata. I'm going to go Eddie Kingston. I don't know that we're going to look to take it off him after he's just won it. I mean, he literally just got the one belt, didn't he, from Claudio, I think the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight title. So... Young Bucks against Guns, against Lucha Bros, against Orange Cassidy and Hook. Tricky, to be honest, because could go a number of ways there. That's tricky. I think it'll be the Bucks. I think we did FTR and the Guns. Have we ever done FTR Lucha Bros? Just because I think we've done Bucks and I think we've done Guns. So I would go Lucha Bros. But difficult because they could go back to either of those easily because they're both, you know, credible. So we could easily be Guns, it could easily be Young Bucks, it could easily be Bros. Or this new thing that's been chucked together of Orange Cassidy and Hook could easily be them guys as well. So yeah, there's a few that it could be. I am going to go Lucha Bros. I'll go Lucha Bros. Final one, Ricky Starks against Wheeler Yuta. I'm going to go Ricky Starks. Invest. He is the guy. He is the man. I love him. I love him because I watched him in NWA and everyone was saying how great it was. And I was watching him and he was all right.
Ladies and gentlemen,
you could tell that he had a bit of swagger about him, but I remember looking at him thinking, I wonder if he will make it. Like, I'm being told by a lot of people, like, how good he is, and I'm watching him, and he was fine. He was solid, you know.
This
It
great
wasn't
pro
blowing my
wrestling
mind, but
Sandy
I
Toller,
didn't
one
like
of pro
hate
wrestling's
him or anything.
greatest
Like you
pioneers.
looked at him and you went,
I believe pro
he could
wrestling's
make it. I
greatest
wonder if he will
dreamer,
make it.
the late
Like,
great
He
Antonio
could have
Inoki.
easily just, you know, faded to obscurity, thrive
The
in
Japan Pro
AEW.
Wrestling
I think for
and
those of you that used to
students
watch
of
him
Antonio
on
Inoki,
NWA Power
of course,
back in the
Mr.
day, going back to
Rocky
2020, on those weekly NWA Power shows, which were awesome.
and the man,
He
later
was someone
tonight,
that
a former
he
student
was
of
someone
Antonio
that you could
Inoki.
see. There's a lot of busted prospects in wrestling. There's a lot of people that
But
could, you
most
know,
of
a
all,
lot of people that
I
could have
would
made
like
it,
to thank
maybe should have made it, but
Hiroto
don't end up
and
making it. You know, you could just
Naoto
point at
Inoki
Rick
for being
Boots,
here with
or you
us
could point
tonight.
at Riddick Moss. You know, you could point at a few different people
God
that
bless you
we had
both for
high
the
hopes for.
wonderful gift
Keith
from your
Lee. You
grandfather's
look at Keith
scarf.
Lee.
I
Keith
can't
Lee
thank
was
you
an
enough
animal in
for being
NXT,
a
and we
part
were
of
all
this.
like, you know,
And
when
now
he wins
let's
the
pay
NXT
tribute to one
title,
of wrestling's greatest legends, one of
which, you know,
wrestling's greatest
gets
minds,
forgotten about that
with the
he
first
did
ever
win that belt.
Wrestle
But
Dream.
you know, when I mean, that was a great moment. It really felt like he was going somewhere. And when he got called up to main roster, feuding with Randy Orton, kind of felt like we were getting somewhere. And then like he got released, and look at him in flipping AEW.
Antonio Inoki is meant
Right, look at how he's been used in AEW. So, you know, Keith Lee is just an example of, again, someone that you looked at and thought, yeah, we could really do something with this guy, could really get somewhere. And it just, he's had a great career anyway. He's carved a great career out for himself. I'm not saying that he hasn't had a great career regardless, but I'm talking about people that could make it in one of the big promotions. And he got to the main roster. I mean, he was going, he was cooking, and then hit a brick wall, didn't he? Became flipping Bearcat, didn't he? And then in AEW, they've done some all right stuff with him. I loved his tag team with Swerve, but yeah, again, you know, all of a sudden starting to look like a flipping wizard, and just got a bit lost in the shuffle. And it's hard, man. It's hard. It's hard. Fulfill your potential. So much stuff that can go wrong. Someone can just look at you and go, I don't see it. You know, just take that to go. We are live with the pre-show. It's past. It should be starting now. I think they. So there's been 5 minutes of nothing but a graphic. But now we just had a little change in graphics moving. So it looks like we are live. And it looks like we are back over to the shows. We said 4 matches on the pre-show. Actually, sisters. That was a dark time. There's been a few bad segments like this, bad at the time. Stokely Hathaway, so we are up and running. We have got a picture. We are seeing inside. As we said, we've got 4 matches on the kickoff show. And then we go into the main cards. Oh, I do want to try and get to as many things as possible. But as we start, we are going to be having 4 on 4. Shane Taylor, Lee, Mario, Mercedes, Josh Barnett. It is good cost. So yeah, I hope everyone's well. I'm going to try and jump into the chat. I know there's a couple of comments I need to get to though. Like Hollywood Guy said, I'm hearing that Hollywood Guy is behind the devil's mask. Ha 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 ha. Hollywood Guy, shout out to you. I would imagine if anyone knows it, Hollywood Guy is behind the devil's mask. Is Aaron in the house? Aaron, I hope you're excited for Wrestle Dream. I hope last night you had a Wrestle Dream of your own. Getting ready for.
Oh yeah. She pretty much is
Julia Hart. She needs improving, but she's only 21.
Yeah.
I hope she wins tonight.
Robert's very
House
excited
always
to see
wins. I
AEW
really
fan
like the
Mr.
cards.
Jenkins.
so yeah.
So
The
Julia
way that
Hart,
you said that, as I got
21 years
easily
old,
on my screen, the way you
future,
talked about it,
I think neither is them. I don't think they need to have a
I
developmental
know,
phase.
she
Not
and seeing
there.
and doing
I don't think she was great, but you get my point, right? You can have
Again,
it.
the defense has been a heel.
I think it needs space to
I think there's more to it.
and that's what we have to think about with Julia Hart. She might get eaten by the eye. And I don't want to see that. You don't want to see that.
That's what
She needs
Jason
room
said,
to
sorry,
grow.
I
She
think
needs
I did,
Julia Hart.
Night, yes. Well, if there is an amount, this is kind of what speculating on the dawning of a new era for
She can
AEW.
get overrun.
It could be huge, yeah.
In regards to
There's the Edge era, the Mac era.
nothing happens with Jen and Dundee. I don't really coming in or anything like that. So I'm just going off the same information I think everyone
So I
else is
think
going.
that that's old.
Again, if I go back to that video, he said that he had an extension with WWE waiting for him, and he was having to now decide between do I sign it or
My
go to
concern
Top.
is
Don't think I could beat
Oh,
this.
right flag.
It's a
Right.
like match. Like, it's not wrestling.
Talk about
Maybe
the
it
elephant in
felt
the
like
room.
WrestleMania to him because his friends are going with him.
Well, are you ready to
And
see
that was such a special. I believe in that was a big deal for him because the year before he said to the USA goodbye together
of
in
WWE
Toronto. He said that to the Toronto Get Together where when wrestling the extension. I think there's a massive piece of this puzzle to do as well. But I think they're ignoring the retirement piece of the puzzle. Everyone seems to think this is a decision between does he go to WWE?
It's a little way to get around there
AEW?
and make it a
But
little
there's
bit
a
more
massive
simple than it
piece of
really
the
is.
puzzle that everyone's just going, yeah, I'm not bothered.
Trying to tell that.
Yeah, but it might happen.
I think we were convinced.
It's like
I-
speculating if he's going
A
to.
lot of people.
I'm like, people.
I just
For me, that's what it's most. The network to join AEW, but is he closer than ever
Yeah, I mean,
to
at the end of
joining
the day-
AEW because he's closer than ever in still under this contract now expired. It might not mean that. It might not mean that.
Yeah, I saw that.
I mean, like, it could be that it's there. Still, what would you do? Because it's
14 matches.
not a
Run through the matches before they start.
being a free agent.
Yeah.
Signs.
If it comes off, because I think Lucha can get involved.
You know, like the birthday match, you know,
Yeah. That's what I think we're getting on this area.
I don't think Edge is going to
Because I think it's almost
and it's a hill that I'm still.
Oh, you think they're gonna get wow?
We'll see. We'll see.
Or that's not a nobody. Well, every
Doubt that.
we have
Try his absolute best to get it.
Oh, it's over.
Got no
Yeah.
big edges done with WWE.
Oh,
That he is going to have a big decision to make.
I will remind the fans of
Whether he retires or whether he see that show. Actually, my friend,
and
6-2. Worth noting that the week before, I mean, that's not bad for Collision. I mean, when the show first started, to be honest, we said, I don't know what the show is in our time. You can learn so much. So much.
Oh, no, here comes.
You know, you can learn
What is
just
the
like
show
what
that he's doing?
AEW have been doing over the past few years. It's been incredible. You just,
The noodle.
there's things you can theorize about, but I think this would do. This would result in this, you know,
Let's see
with
what-
everyone winning. Breakdown. But I think, you know, going up against Collision, that's like
Well, as a
something
trade,
to do. Views from WWE events, and the week before each one, you do an NXT premium live event.
Oh,
And so
I'm
that
I'm
means
sure
that
that's
the
the thing,
weekends
right?
WWE, if you can make those NXT cards juicy, is the expectation. So as I said, I'm looking at this stuff. I don't remember Keith Lee getting these mental kind of big cultures. Do you mean more it's because not getting these reactions in NXT. So this getting reactions in NXT, but you people liked him. You know, LA Knight was not enough the crazy fans of London to move him to be NXT champion.
That's why love it, and they love it.
Is
I love
weren't
KR.
necessarily going to get over when they came to the roster because the name was different. It was quite different person, and it had a different focus.
He was the soundtrack.
I can't say that
Really
it struggled to connect with the audience a little bit. Then all of a sudden, you know,
Yeah, good. Yeah,
not the best, but I don't think it's.
I'm amazed. He hasn't been in an extendable movie.
So yeah, I think that's.
I know
I
that
think there's just a big difference between NXT. And I think that you can be a big star in NXT and really struggle.
The fish made
You
Nick.
could then get up to the main roster, kill it like LA. You know, you can go to the main
I
roster
didn't think they were going
and
to lose,
kill
but I
it with
thought they were going
promos
to
and
win.
absolute matches and remind people that struggled a little in roster. So it's pretty cool as to why. Can't be cool for him. I think he just
He's in Garnet.
or if he got frustrated. I can't quite remember.
Kevin Garnett here.
Struggled
But
with
right.
struggled with
Just
creative.
local.
I would point at him being in AEW and it not working out for him so far as being an example. I think people, people have pointed this out on social media.
Yeah.
People point at the rest of the team. But that was AEW and then also. Who do you point at there? Because Keith Lee would say he was underwhelming in the UK as well.
High energy matches.
So is that a Keith Lee thing? Is it like the creative style? So that's different reasons as to why. I don't think I point at that as being
JR's like, this wasn't in the fucking.
I mean, like, it was a very difficult with
Mine's getting
being hurt
already.
as well. So
Right?
you can
He's
definitely
like, shit.
towards that as being something that's affected, I think, a lot.
Kiss that in the
Let's go and
It is really.
I can't do it.
Fan of Josh wrestling and all that.
Sam,
It's
say
so
what your three
interesting
favorite
because he's
AEW
got like
pay-per-views
he
so
looks
far.
like he would be
Do you know
related to
what?
Brock
I'm
Lesnar, but he's
really
I want
there's
to
people that really
see Holy there.
I'll tell you, for the longest time, I really struggled with AEW pay-per-views. I think my problem with them
Trash match.
that match itself
Again,
is fine.
you
There's
gotta
no
imagine if
criticism
that
of
match
the
was No Mercy.
if that match needed to be criticised, it would. But there's plenty of people ready to jump on AEW. But that match was all right. And I think that you could have I mean, even done a match where it was Moxley against Kenny Omega, and it was the ropes have been replaced with barbed wire.
Hunter.
It'd be hard. It's a barbed wire thing. If you'd have done that, I think could have got
This video package that they're
pretty
doing
stuck in the barbed wire and everything. You could have had a third.
pretty much thing. And no people would be proud of AE podcast. Technically, we have six matches.
If you watched in Japan,
Possible, yeah, six.
exploded and it was a load of rubbish, just like what you saw in AEW.
So
They
that's
tried to do an amazing match, and then they ended up doing
Yeah,
stupid stuff.
what I'm saying. Mr. Christian Harvey, you got to train a lot of wrestlers. Yeah.
No, I got no issue with that.
Lasted say 27 miles.
Oh,
Like 5-year-olds, and you get to the finish line, but oh god, you
So shit, you might be ready right there. So if that is
it's like they were doing some really good stuff, but there'd always be something in there that would just be the big talking.
that's because they had to go already going on for an hour before it actually started with a 0 hour on future.
So this example of that, and then I think there is a
This is
good job.
surprises.
I want to make it predictable.
And so we kind of got through that as well. That was another. That was good, solid. Really enjoyed that. I think if you went there, if you were just there, I think you enjoyed it. It looked on TV. But that's just full game.
Straight up.
Dress up, UFC pre-card, pre-main event. Yeah, but oh,
Well, anyway.
Yeah, get Swerving out. I love Swerving out.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh god, don't keep it that
They
way.
were on that card as
Oh, I
well.
don't. No, we need to clarify that. Let me clarify that.
So you've got the return of Saraya, and the blow up to that with Christian.
Well, yeah, well, I was gonna say, oh, you know that man.
Tony champion. So that come to my mind. I remember there being, I think, whichever the bigger show was that had Hangman, Mega Bucks. I'm going to go with Full Gear from Match Jones.
As a pre-show, pre-lim, 0 hour, ever made, you buy a pay-per-view.
Honestly, though, I would think a Sunday night heat is probably.
And I mean, once upon a time, like they would put it on for free, and people would be like, oh, then not even. I don't know why it's 13.
Oh, Wayne went to that move though, and was a day late. And yeah, she was like, yeah, fair enough. Go right back. 1, 2, 3.
Previewing. We've had that perhaps that's going to be at the start. Sting will face Dodgy. And I think that this would be in Sting's mind to just is someone who, and then I think that'd be a match to put on that show. Actually, they're just the start of the
5 hours in.
Just go Tony. I mean, there's probably a good chance you'd lose your job, but snap a chance.
People like
What is going to make him feel like?
He has an
That works.
Yeah, here we go.
Different ways that I could make him
That's
different.
what we've got.
Not only are you getting fired, I'm pretty sure.
There you go.
Take it.
Browns, he killed me. Yeah,
I'm
I'm
not saying
playing
that's
that.
a
I was
disrespectful
telling
thing.
you.
He wants to be in with the boys. He wants to be in. Like, doesn't really want to. You can
So it was by the other team. They're like, there's no way I can
like,
fucking
talking
put
about
that
like,
stuff.
you know, girl with a very
And maybe it was like,
it's like wanting to be part of the conversation. That's my
Hey, that's the thing. I just
anything used to give us just
the main part, finally, I'll play the audience. What are you
you
guys
can't talk
most
about
excited
2023
about?
without talking
Sure,
about
absolutely.
the biggest
Listen,
priority
anything
in the
super
world,
excited.
in the world,
Besides just the
professional
potential
wrestling.
of Ed showing up.
Going on
It's
TV
just,
saying
they can
he
use this
feared
hijack
for
of
his
the
life.
leader of Ed showing up and somehow that doesn't happen. It's a failure.
Coming in there by
Like it says, if Edge debuts tonight,
yeah,
then
Mr.
WWE
Mr.
will
Ray
definitely
Taylor,
fire
I hope
back
you're
in
well, my
Survivor
friend.
Series.
We were talking about the
And what if they
NWA
already played him?
and the glory days of
He thought we were
which I
get
still
someone
think is
back.
going. I think
Last
Power's
night
still on. And I think it's back
there's
on
no mercy
YouTube,
with. We
actually.
got a piece
The
of
problem was that they went
more
behind the
wrong. I
paywall,
thought we might get
so
paid
you
for
had
that.
to pay to
And
watch it.
that
And,
never came
that's
to
not good
fruition.
for our community, because, like,
So it'd be
there's a lot of people
interesting. I
that
don't know
will
if it's really
watch,
going to
take
be
a
like a
chance on
solid
wrestling, but
it's
you know what I mean? It's one thing
I
to give
really
you time,
don't
it's another
believe
thing
that
to like
happens
sign up for a subscription.
because it's not even,
And so, like,
it's just a gut
it's
aspect
not
of it. It's not anything that I heard. I have no insight to listen
and I
to.
think
It's just
that
I realized after we started doing that video,
I don't think it was just
he was
that
sitting on his
community. I
rocking
think it
chair
was.
in front of his on his porch and everything.
So I think
He
they're back
might
now, and
just
I'm sure they're
be
doing some really good
I
stuff,
really
but
thought him going out
so
in
long.
Toronto, in front of his
Miguel
hometown
Bowes
fans,
coming in by
hometown
Kojima.
fans, family and friends, going out to
One,
that
for the stand-up vibes, got everyone take. Here's Billy Starks with a
you
kick
have to
there.
talk. What is the favorite thing you can talk
Mercedes
about?
Billy
That's how you
Starks.
become a mentor.
Mercedes,
That
slow kicking it from Billy Starks.
oh, we got the trails.
It seemed like she had some personality.
More, yeah, a big
Shane Taylor,
turn.
throwing a clothesline. Keith Lee picks up Shane Taylor and plants him down. We got 45 minutes left to go.
Maybe we get
Keith Lee, drop kick to the legs. Keith Lee
that showed up in the
has to
pack.
just take that.
Just match tonight.
So I think, I don't know what that was. So I think Keith Lee just picked up some chips.
Very much too much of a staycation.
Lariat by Kojima
Now we're on
to
the other side of 35.
there we go. Kojima gets the pin.
Big Nick, no, it's more of a failure to his
Give
defense of
RJ
needs.
City
That shows
his
up. So why
graphics.
those
Keep this
a hindrance of like actually
done forever.
I don't so, because I mean I think we
Kojima was a bit confused.
less of
Now the card got 3 more
really
matches
lucky
to
that
go.
he got back after
What keeps a live stream
He
or
doesn't
trying
know
something new around?
in
What
any
keeps a
form.
live stream or trying something
He's
new?
solidified
Does it need
himself
to
as
do
one
a
of the
certain
greatest
number of
wrestlers
views and
a
engagement?
pro wrestling
Do we know the
a
channel?
Hall of Famer in the world.
It's a case that with
Yes, but also when you have
When you're doing like
175 people, and you
2000 NWA, you kind of go, I really shows, to be honest. It's like 1/5, isn't it? It's 20% of like a water. I mean, I could have not done it and it could have made any difference to the show. But I really enjoyed the shows.
Go back to
So for me,
it's really, it goes
up on a Tuesday.
season everything. That's the reason why you see these
was free.
votes down.
Literally a few
So they're
dealing with a few
travel to a New Hampshire.
and it that's
Just
consistent.
but besides being able to
So view their profile and
If we didn't decide
you
to
could
do
do that.
if we were to have
Do it with Mickey James. So people would do it was
WWE will lose
and
you watched NXT last
I
night.
didn't see it.
Carmelo Hayes.
I remember Nick Aldis.
I would say few people would make
Mickey James was in the
Carmelo Hayes was already set up because he's the biggest. If you want to not check out before,
talking to you.
getting there. He's getting there. That's so great.
Completely black.
As far as Carmelo Hayes has the biggest, he's the biggest.
But someone told me after like
And
Mickey James like that's moody.
I
That,
mean,
that's
by the way, former WWE. I mean,
that's
enough of
clearly
that
not
feature
what
for
I
us.
do. NXT do that each week. It does matter.
You know,
it's
valid. Yeah, 100%.
unless on its feet cardio is trying to
Then you're
grab a hold of the like he was getting from with a cruise.
outside me for this deal. I'm sure Tony might also do it. Tony, you want to go off and do this?
There we go. Elbow coming into the side of the head. Moxley,
You know,
that's very much a different match.
Brian was drawing out some
Right now, audio is around about Josh.
and he became rap. WCW
This is the second match. Just in the middle of the ring. Very technical.
I can't guarantee the same. I switched over to Felicia right now.
It's working from the bits that
I don't know, dude. I know you think MJF's going to be the devil, but I don't know, buddy. I don't know, buddy.
I'll leave it at this though.
I mean, he's got a few facts.
I
His
still don't
deliveries
think
maybe
it's
not
gonna-
bring
he does that.
command and all that. I could probably do abdominal stretches of
You know,
so
to
like
their
that,
credit,
you know, nice stuff
WWE
because we don't
live
really
from
explain
the
wrestlers' point of view and saying, you know, how those kicks feel.
FT ding ding of this match. So who
Wrestle Dream actually start
something else of
not a
strapped over the
shot
shoulders.
anymore. Barnett there.
Like that, you literally just kind of built us on the Righteous, and I love the Righteous, but I'm a little surprised it's not the Kingdom, Nick.
He just sat there and stopped the crowd and got a whole actual like pop.
What an emotional match.
It appears that the
by
devil
two
has
artists,
arrived in Seattle.
Interesting.
See, now he's denying it.
Wow, they're building storyline in their opening match.
Moxie said, I feel like I'm going to pass out. That was so stressful.
Tofu.
The win over Josh Barnett.
That's just being picky.
This is the only other thing on this
Oh,
fucking
you
card
want-
outside of Cole
I've got
and
something to
Christian. Or,
What about you? You're high.
oh, as they're calling, he's calling the Righteous the Devil's rejects.
I came in
New
and said, how
touch
great
with a
you are.
body slam. And he's getting body slam.
That might be the first
It's at
Proven
least
to
like
you
the
would be a
80s,
fan of you.
70s even.
in the ring match.
Sounds like a bitch. I've always turned that so much.
JF, he's making his way to the ring.
A long
now,
way to
I've
go.
got-
Now,
Jump the shark.
I appreciate the kind words, but that was easy for me.
A bitch.
More of a chance. Now, Tony, you like this Josh looks back.
Everybody up there.
So,
Well, I was going to say, I will remind everybody. We have 88, almost 90 people kicking out with us right now. 100%.
flipping look.
Like you subscribe.
An
We
old
got the super
man
chat, the super
Marco
stickers. If you want to make sure that you get your comment right on the show, or you just want to
Take off
subscribe
man
to the
Brock
channel. He's getting a massage from a fan right now. What about not getting involved with the crowd here, Tony? What about these rules? Them fucking the TikToks. We got
All right,
fresh
folks, who are you taking?
Because
MJF?
a lot of
I thought of in advance, like, how are you can you think of great lines, or because we
Do
don't
we
have a
need to
massive
have?
pool of
Is he
people
going
to
to pull?
choose? Seen enough
So
of
here
their
I was
takes on
jealous.
Botchamania. Chemistry.
It was the
I
guy
think,
that's like back to
Why
the
could
right.
you-
if it was relaxed in tone,
The Cowboys.
I think that could be kind of cool. So,
MJF.
like, for me, JR's magnificent job.
There you go.
Excalibur gets a lot of bad press. I really appreciate him calling out the different moves. I know
MJF
it's not something
for the win.
everyone wants,
Jake
but
comes
some
out
I appreciate.
and is
It's a lot of
MJF
stuff. A lot of stuff I
partner.
see that I've never seen in WWE.
That technically should have been a
And that might be something that's of no interest. And I know that's
And
not
it's
Jim
great.
Cornette's the story. I don't think it's a bad thing.
Way
with
to
him.
predict the
But,
Righteous side.
Let's go for the tag, but
Yeah.
Certainly should.
That's
I
honestly.
mean, I suppose you could replace Excalibur
over to the ref. Oh, buddy!
against the Hawks.
He's selling.
Excalibur, Taz, Big Show.
Oh,
Now
he
Sean
does
said,
it.
okay,
Oh.
okay. Nigel McGuinness and Taz.
Excited.
Good shot.
I'm excited to find out what the outcome
Yes,
is.
it's
Islander.
Sure,
Always
I
been
think-
that way, knowing if it's real or like older than two. But I never.
As
I
you-
think it's because it's like
Oh,
when
the-
like when he grows up,
Enjoy how the
times or whatever.
other
When
man.
you're
I don't know that much. As much as
kids, like, as you get older,
Wait,
you
he's back
watch
up.
excuses matter. And I think there's so
Yeah,
much
they were
wrestling.
gonna be in this spot there.
If you
Just
can
matter of break his
find
ankle.
something that you could grow
Oh,
into,
great,
I mean, I
great.
would make the argument that you could start with WWE,
Yeah,
you could grow
well,
into New
referee freedom.
You know, I think New Japan's a very
Skeleton
credible
1 and
product.
Skeleton 2.
So you could start with, as we said, you know, the kind of wacky world WWE,
Over
and
on
then move on
Army
to
Red,
GCW, or move on to New Japan Pro Wrestling, or like many of them stayed with WWE. Completely different way when I was a kid. You know, like I said before, I missed those days. But I mean, that's long.
Actually, like,
And you
you
just
might be
watched
closer
it.
to
Now we got somebody
Oh, that'd be a
already.
moving back.
Who's gonna have to live that through?
Like we set up to where the biggest run ends or
Not
starts in
kidding, but you just sort of accepted them as being part of the fight.
right.
Where people, I do not remember missing. I don't remember seeing people miss punch each other. You know, I don't see some.
You
I
gotta
don't
bite
remember
'em.
seeing someone swing and miss
Should be a little
or anything like that. I just don't remember seeing these things.
Yeah, I was wondering if we were gonna get Super MJF here.
So
Like, where we are
to
kind
me,
of-
like, yeah, for the first, like,
what? No, you didn't want to.
year
I
and a
just
half,
thought of
2
it as you were
years,
saying.
I didn't know.
Well, that- that's just
You know, I
saying
was
sad
believing
behind
what
you.
I was seeing.
You're not saying.
Like,
Asking
you know,
about you.
people that were like saying those kind of things, but
rest
you
in
know,
peace out there.
it looked real to me.
Yes, I can
So
say
you-
that.
Well,
you're a Jay fan, so you have to do it
he
too.
gets.
Yeah.
Was it? A 2? He gets a 2.
American League East is a fucking murder. Oh, fuck that.
It goes.
That's what it
Luchasaurus
is.
smashes him
looking
into
forward
that.
to
Do it!
I like Nick Wayne. He's
That's
great
his
fast
ass.
hits. He's got a great
Way to
heart.
bury the fucking.
He hasn't grown into like,
Right.
being a man. yet.
To me,
And,
this is like-
I
We're
think
getting-
Luchasaurus to lose to Nick Wayne
Sorry,
would be
Okay.
not
Kangaroo
a
show,
great look.
kangaroo
You
show,
could do it as a
kangaroo
one-off
show.
shot, 1, 2, 3, kid Razor Ramon type thing, but
That goddamn Jets.
Look, I
You
know
went
people are
too
gonna love
fast,
this,
there's
and I don't
nothing
want to
into
do it.
Luchasaurus.
I'd like it. But to me, it's the equivalent of your world champion being like, what
so
is it?
that's, I think that's a bit of a
Yeah,
problem wrestling has had. A lot of people get into
Right.
wrestling when they were kids.
Yeah,
A lot of people,
people-
like, yeah, I used to watch that when I was a kid. Oh, I loved that when I was a kid.
And he uses the ropes, and so
But
MJF
unfortunately,
is
for whatever reason,
And
there
you
just come a
bury
time
him.
where people
buried the
think
righteous.
it's just, do you know what I mean?
Zero.
Girls. I think that's the truth.
I'll take a
Girls.
zero.
That's
Well,
what
I was going to say, it's
I think
interesting.
if you're at that age where you discover
Stop
girls,
thinking
and all of a
You don't
sudden
give
you're
a
not
shit.
getting
You
wrestling
don't give
figures
a
for
right. Said, I'm going to body slam you.
For baby face. Like, well, Seth is
it becomes an instantly
Peacock,
different
and you
relationship.
got to let me fly.
Did you do that?
But yeah, you know what? That was fine. Yeah, maybe not the right distance. This,
But then
They
should
fucked
when
them
she
all
opened
the
that
way
cave,
up.
they
And
would
saw the bullseye he was looking for. I was like, and that's it. And T's and P's are R.I.P. to the righteous. Oh,
and then I think you just start watching
That's
to
all.
see,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. That didn't feel like the kickoff of the
you know,
show.
you just start watching it a
Right,
different
and we
way.
got big match coming up next.
constantly become
Shibata.
analytical.
Shibata.
Is he actually kicking him there? Is he actually budging
We
it
got
for any
85
relationship
people hanging out
changes?
with us right now. Get in the chat. Say
But
hello.
deceit,
Let us know how you get a prediction. You can get your
the ring.
We'll have it on the alternative commentary.
And
Good night, everybody.
MDK.
Let you go home.
I don't know. You have
Right around with the Ring of Honor title, and Adam being he's like of your company serious right now. Top tag teams in the world. They can't be MJF by himself. No story. I thought maybe MJF, Adam Cole would hobble out, or the Kingdom.
I thought he was
might
going to
give
say something like,
somebody somewhere
I
somehow.
went to get my hair cut, I went to get a fade.
Nada.
yeah,
I just
at
want you to
least
know we never
something.
liked Jade.
And, I mean, on one hand, okay, well, MJF is still the world
I just
champ,
want you
so
to know,
maybe
screw you,
down with
Jade.
him winning 2-on-1 because he is the world champ. He is that guy, I guess, but it's still kind of
Traitor.
he really fucking the way you went about it here
Right.
is righteous.
Acclaimed.
Yeah,
T.
it's not good. And it's not that I dislike AEW. I'm a big fan of the Righteous.
Lots
help
of
me out here.
noise. Crowd are very much
Right,
into
right,
this.
right. Shibata
Like I
versus
said,
Kingston.
you think
What
the
are we
people
doing
who
here,
attacked Jay
Papa?
White,
What?
I think it'll
By the way,
be,
we're starting off with
in the Kingdom. I don't know how
All
many
right,
people there
so
were,
that's at least number 2.
but I think it'll be Roderick Strong in the Kingdom.
Someone, we need Curtis out here to keep track of it for us.
I mean, I don't know where the story was going to go or where it was going to get to. But now
I
they've got
appreciate
this,
champion
there's
shows up
a
every
group for
week.
them to go up
Yeah.
against. I think that
Well, we show up every day, just about.
Matt
You
Taven,
appreciate us to say that. Kevin,
Bennett,
what up?
so
Alexis
Taven,
out here
Bennett,
showing
and Roderick Strong. I mean, Strong's
all
not,
the
I don't think he's not really injured. He was wrestling in the
I love
tournament.
them. Let's
So,
go.
I'm avoiding-
those guys,
Yeah,
I
sorry, I'm
think,
avoiding
they
visualizing,
obviously were
there was
part of this
injuries
story
right now.
with MJF.
Tredavious White for
And
Did he
I
really?
think that
that's
if you want to
well,
keep them
I'm a
involved,
big
like
fan
with
of
MJF,
Tredavious.
then this is a way that you can do it.
This man
because
has just got fucking.
They were probably going to be
Ours
involved with
secondary
MJF and
between
Adam
Micah Hyde,
Cole,
Jordan
and
Boyd,
there's plans for them to be involved with MJF and Adam Cole for the next month or two. However, the
Last
story is
call.
going
Give
to
everybody
play out.
10 seconds.
So
If you have
now
not made a prediction on
that
any
Adam Cole is
Shibata,
injured,
I'm about to
what
close
do you
that.
do
All they're
with
saying is
Roderick
I've
Strong
got
in the
Eddie
Kingdom?
grabbing the rope as we've got
Because
a
all of a
grapevine
sudden,
heel hook.
you know, the story you were going to tell
Eddie's gotta win
is
this. Eddie has
out the window.
He just
So all
won
of a
the
sudden
fucking
now you need to
I will be
keep them
heartbroken
around,
with
but you need
you.
to
I
tell
know
a
we
different
took some heartbreak
story.
for you
So
recently.
you could make the
But
decision
yeah.
and just
Even
thanks
the
a lot for
heartbreak.
coming. See you
There we
later.
go.
You could
Um,
move them
Yeah,
on to a
I
completely
can see if
different
this was
story.
just for like
Or
the new
you could
kick
put them
and
in
strong belt or
masks
something.
and have
This was
them
for one belt.
attack
Like,
with
is
a
Eddie
quick
gonna keep
goal.
going forward?
So
Defending
I'd
both
be leaning
belts?
towards Kingdom, Roderick
I
Strong.
want to.
I don't know. I didn't
I think you and I
analyze
both
as to
agree
how
that Eddie
many
could have
people there were
a
that
better belt.
attacked.
Like I mean, if
And,
the all
someone said
international
one of
belt
them
is
looked
not
like
a
a female.
hard workhorse
So
title,
maybe
that
there's a
could be
female
Eddie
that's
Kingston.
involved
Could Eddie
somewhere
Kingston
as well.
challenge the world champion? Yeah, he could.
But that
I
would
think
certainly
right
be
now I don't
my,
mind him as
my
a Ring
pick.
of Honor World Champion. If you, depending on if you could do Ring of
Keep
Honor,
coming
it
in.
should be done. If you actually have this.
I
if
love
this was
wrestling. It's a
a main
mix of
event,
everything.
you
It's
built this up
concert,
to
it's
like a
theatre,
Ring
it's
of
TV,
Honor
it's
pay-per-view, so
sports,
throwing on
all
Wrestle
rolled
Dream
into one.
outside of
It's
just being
why
a
it's the
tie-in,
best
New
form of
Japan tie-in.
entertainment. So
This
it's
would be
down.
very viable as a main
That's
event.
good. I like that. I like
You're
that.
not wrong, Nick. And I mean, again, I just want. Again, I think for me, with a lot of this, is
Niche,
I
shout
want a
out to
little
my
more for
friend. I
Righteous.
hope
I want more for
everything's
MJF. I
well.
want more for Eddie.
Big shout out to
Well, if you want
everyone
more
that's
for the
joining
guys
us
that
this
you
evening.
know can work and actually
What
put
was
on
that
something
chain
that
called
Eddie's a
Retribution?
fucking draw
I
anytime
think
he's
it's
on the screen. The Righteous have been a
So
drawing
that's
time
why
he's
it
on
featured
the
as part of the
screen.
Acclaim's
MJF
kind of
is your
intro.
star. He's yours more than like
Quick tags being made here.
He's not just a
And
star. He's
we
a
have
goddamn
got the
constellation.
Acclaimed
That's fucking powerful.
in
There's
the
nothing.
corner. So there was someone online that was
but
like, man,
when you see
3
most of the time
shows in
going
the space of
to,
like 3 weeks
the Young
from
Bucks
AEW
again,
or something like this.
Don Callis.
And I think Swerve responded, you sound
Chris Jericho. All right. Can we get something different?
Yeah, you remember that run when Jericho was Ring of Honor champion?
there is
and
cost
he
of living
evented,
crisis
like
in all
4 to
fairness.
5 weeks of Dynamite.
So
Yeah.
we've got
Great would have that have
triple
been if Eddie
scissor
Kingston was Ring
away.
of Honor champion, main eventing 4 to 5 Dynamite.
There's
But if you could
versus an
do-
Aubrey.
That would be great, but I didn't want to fully move away from how we talked about Instill and how they had their Ring of Honor
she
champion
likes to get
main
involved
eventing
in
in
stuff.
Dynamite, when they had Ring of Honor
I'm
as a weekly
surprised she
show.
didn't get involved in
But I
the
think if
scissor
you
in
didn't have it on the Honor Club and say that was your Rampage, and Eddie Kingston's main eventing every Friday
the
night,
top,
he
and
ends it,
the,
it's a banger match or
I
something
think
like
he
this.
got
It's
Stevie
Eddie
Richards got a
versus
copyright strike, and it was from
fucking
Don
whoever from Ring of
Stevens,
Honor. Eddie versus
which
Shane
is
Taylor.
believed to be
awful. Tell me that match went fucking
so.
fucking banger.
I don't know where people are standing
Right.
with her at the moment.
But right now,
That
Shibata with the
wasn't
boot in
very
the
well
corner.
received.
Again.
Him getting that
Throwing
copyright strike.
elbows right in the corner. Right to the jaw, Eddie.
Shibata for the
Nice
win. Oh, we got a
suplex.
Shibata pick, James.
Going for
Oh,
the cover.
Has anyone else picked Shibata? I've only
Right,
seen
to
one
be fair,
Shibata.
spending
I think
150
people
in the
just
span
do
of a
that now
month is
because
not
it's
easy.
just-
You sat right back.
See how angry I am.
No, I do agree.
Yeah, look.
Double back elbow by TMDK.
The Rays are absolutely garbage. in a
Cover
handicap match.
to shoulder.
Yeah, that bears
Shoulder.
down. And I was a big fan,
shout
even
out to
when
you. It's been a while since it's been on the stream. Glad to be back. Excited for Adam Copeland's AEW debut. It won't be enough.
Yeah,
in
no, I did.
AEW's new era.
Sorry, I
What
got distracted
else?
by. I'm tired of Taylor Swift already.
I mean,
Yeah,
are we counting our chickens a little bit here? Because I don't
No,
even know that we're doing that.
my local college.
So, I mean, I would say get that first, if that's what's going
Literally
to happen.
sat there before their season
And
opened
then,
and already set up
like, build
a
from
press
there.
box of a
The
placard
obvious
for
answer as well
Taylor
would be
Swift on a assigned
Mercedes.
seat.
I mean,
and,
you've got to
Mama
just
Kelsey
get the
there
biggest
from
names you
assigned
can
seat.
that are
So,
outside
oh,
of
we don't know
WWE.
what
The two
this
biggest
means,
names
but you
I
never
would
know.
say is Edge and Mercedes.
Oh,
And then
we're
I
lastly,
going
we
hate
just
working
had some
with
releases
Dolph.
with
It
Dolph.
wouldn't exist until Taylor
And,
Swift
oh,
defended
wait,
the fucking
wait,
game.
So we've had releases with Dolph. We
Huh?
had
Oh, wait. Big boot that both
I don't
men
know if you want to
randomly
risk
fell.
that though.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
that
were
video
both
came out, didn't
staggered.
look good.
Did Shibata actually throw a
So
potato
yeah,
there?
you know,
Or a
there's a
suplex.
couple of names that are out there. I mean,
Might
clearly
have,
you're not
honestly.
going to get CM Punk back. You're not going to get AJ Lee.
Yeah, just no
Nice.
shot in that quarter suplex.
It'd be great if you
Nice.
could
Nice.
get right back.
Nice.
I think we can all agree that's definitely one that needs to happen.
Eddie.
I don't know if you go Goldberg. To be honest, I don't know.
Shibata this time.
I really don't know if that makes any difference
There's only one
whatsoever.
order of
But
Shibata.
WWE kept using him, so
KJ
there
and
must,
Nick,
there
you
must have been
guys think
some
that
sort of
21
indicator
should
that
do
he
a
was
brand split?
bringing in some sort of
No.
rating.
No, I don't know.
Tried, and then
I'd have to think,
So he
otherwise,
does a
why
brand
did they
split
keep
that
going
first.
and bringing in and
Actually,
using
you
him?
know what? They should have maintained that. I mean,
So,
the reports
yeah,
came out this
I mean,
weekend
look,
that, you know,
if you can get
Collision
Edge,
is now down
there's not really anything bigger. To be honest,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, I wonder
storylines
why.
that are going to do it. It's storylines that are going to get past where it needs to get
built
to.
the fucking show.
You know,
was
it's
just
funny
to be
because
built
if,
as an actual
again, if you
serious
use
wrestling program, and now it's
WCW
just
as the
become,
example,
Saturday
you know,
Night
they
Sleepover.
brought
for
in,
Buffalo.
Right.
Cole and Nash.
Yeah, I mean, if they could have kept a
And we
soft
got,
brand split and just had,
you know, we got
like,
some
House of
interesting
Black
stuff going on.
and
But it wasn't
FTR,
until the NWO was
Thunder Rosa,
properly
Miro,
formed and Hogan was revealed to be the third man
highlight
that
that
things
group
started
and
really
Bullet Club
kicking
and
off.
kept
You
it a
know,
little separate.
it's the
It had that
arrival of the
vibe that-
NWO and this
And
cool
even
faction
people
and
like,
things.
you know, we talk about them all the time, Mr. Cornette.
Just getting
Even
people
he,
and bringing
like,
them in
he
and
was crazy
having them
with-
there.
For an
It doesn't
AEW hater
work.
to
Like they
praise
brought
something
Hogan
that
in
you're doing,
'94,
maybe you're
and,
actually
you know,
onto
they're
something,
building.
but over the last few
but
weeks,
it's not until
Dark
we get
Order
the
showed,
NWO, and it's not until all that
That's
stuff starts
showed,
kicking off
and
that
open
things
hole.
start.
Structure,
But if industry
you've got
get the
Amazonian
long-term
arachnids.
result, you'll
That's
get a
why I
lot of pop.
refuse.
You'll get a pop in the rating.
I
Famous there, but no joy. Billy Gunn picked up
A little
Bridge.
bit, yeah.
Little baby cakes. little baby
Tito
cakes.
1, 2 going for the
Football
cover,
on
but
Saturday night.
save.
We
We've
got
got
football
about
on
6
Sunday
minutes to
night,
go
too.
till the start
Yeah,
of
we don't stop. One big problem
But yeah,
with
it's, for me,
what you said is
don't
none
worry
of
so
those
much about
wrestlers are former WWE
who you should be bringing in. Get industry leading storylines.
WWE
Get
wrestlers.
storylines
but I
that
100% agree
really
with
grab
KJ.
attention.
What about that?
and
Is that an
really
interesting
grab,
theory that, like, within
you
the fan
know,
base of
those
AEW,
casual
because I don't
fans?
see,
Like,
like,
have you
AEW.
heard about what's happening in AEW?
you know,
What they're doing? Wow.
they push former WWE talent more than their own.
I don't.
For those listening on Spotify and everything, I did my normal WCW air
big
get
shout out to the team and the most
because that's
important
100%
part,
what that
the
sounds like. That
fans,
sounds like
says
TNA
Q the
and Hogan
Line.
and Bischoff were in charge of it.
Remember 2018
Sounds like
period being pretty
WCW.
grim.
Then,
Vincent,
hey, guess
what?
what? Hogan and Bischoff were in charge.
Doing a good job for you lately.
It's amazing how the same people keep showing up in these same companies that fucking fail.
Yeah. Every time this conversation comes up, how
2016, 2019.
he got like three of those spots in this match so far, by the way. When I heard the first one now.
It's the
retained. We call y'all the fact checkers and the four lifers and everything. No one's helping out with this.
They've got a huge spot. Wow, Brainbuster
So the scissors being thrown up
in any case, but that's
Did
why I
she
think
just
anyone
pass
work
that?
as
I don't understand what that was. I don't know what Aubrey and Billy Gunn were doing.
Knockout, brawl out. It's not,
Billy Gunn going over and
we could have those matches in Ring of Honor.
more excited. We are just three.
As many
talent and Bill.
We still want to have the open dialogue.
I
So
don't.
the herd stuff. And
Rocky
Right.
Romero
This
type
kills
spot
me.
would be excellent.
Oh, I was waiting to get to there. All pure
Wrestling
Christianity
and
with,
lots
and
of
I'm gonna
backstage work, etc.
Washington
But let's not sleep
Putting
on
that
the
guy with
Falcons,
solid pure
says
Christianity
Mitchell.
with,
That's
I
good
guess,
life advice. William said
U.S. Jesus
storyline
as his
wise.
avatar picture.
One time I effed
cheered
your
with a
mom.
spooky goth
Yes,
chick.
I'm your
Buddy
dad.
Christ in the house.
No,
Yeah,
wait,
Buddy
I am really your uncle. I effed
I
your
have,
dad. Sorry, my bad. Let's be friends. No?
They
Wow,
were
what a
sitting on
jerk.
Robert
By the way,
Sales'
I am also
face
not your father.
and
I'm your mom. Just an example of the industry-leading storylines that this community could generate, or
because we were
more
watching the other,
importantly,
we'd be like,
William
"Oh my
Hessy
god,
could
this
generate.
just happened!" And we're like, "Oh no, it's a replay."
So,
Right,
William,
yeah.
shout out to you. In all
Wrestling
fairness,
Revolver's
that,
back to
that
that.
sounds good. I probably wouldn't put it all of that in the same week.
Oh yeah.
If you
Hey!
stretch that out over a period of a couple of months, you've got yourself a very interesting. Where's this story going this way?
We're getting a
Didn't he
deal
say
package
this is
because we
that
heard
last
ourselves
week?
earlier. I really like it. Yeah.
I actually
We
think from a
anyone
comedy
that
point of
matches,
view, you could probably
Shibata
get some out of that.
Hoopla, hot dog and grandstanding after the match. Like, what the fuck?
Okay.
Right,
Now,
hang on. Let's. He
honest
said that
question to
he
everyone out there.
didn't he say he slept with his father,
How
making
would you
him
rate that
his
match?
father or so. Where's he going to go this
I
week?
don't know.
I feel like you could do. I think there is some
Good,
fun there.
good.
Believe it.
Great.
Or not.
Not bad. Whatever
But
you
not a
do.
super serious
Three
around the
to
title kind of
3.25.
storyline. I'm thinking like
Okay.
Akira. Are
You
we
know,
talking about bad segments?
we get
What are we
MJF
talking about?
versus,
Or segments that
you know, the
could.
way we gotta
This when it comes to us, though, it seems to be the big
Right, Righteous.
And I love
going to be
Brody
in
as her.
action against
the big
Mja.
suited dude behind her is wicked.
Is
But that's
Sammy
why,
a
like
part
I said,
of
and I
the
stand
Don
by
Callis
this.
family?
Gabriel,
Oh
good
my
job,
god,
baby.
I want the Don Stevens family. Oh,
Jack, that's you in a
imagine
second.
that. The
But
Don Stevens.
I think
Do you know
that
what? That's
she's
just
done a better
basically the new
transition, and it
Righteous
really
Censor.
fits perfectly from being a cheerleader gimmick to Spooky Gotcha. Way better than Alexa Bliss.
Righteous Censor,
But I was just saying of how we
aka
started
the
off with
Don
MJF, we
Stevens
had Eddie
family.
Kingston, so both matches for me out of the way.
So
And
is
now
this,
we've got,
is this going to
Julia
be
Hart for
the first
fucking-
match?
Oh, y'all out the way.
There you go.
This is the match that I
Hyping
need
up
to
and
win
then
because
building
I'm
up.
the one who took that thing to this.
MJF.
Yeah. Not many people. I mean, a lot of people want
And
I was just gonna say, it's not like I felt like Julia Hart.
No. Well, I mean, it would be a shitty title run to Stat
Right.
on her return.
here we go.
And it
Time
would
for a
be, to
Wrestle
me,
Dream.
not the best of, like,
Even if Edge doesn't show up, I see that this Tony's up. I'm talking about the 2018
Yeah, that
period.
was-
Right.
She converts Billy Starks, and Billy Starks and her are just the goth chicks together. She comes out with the
George said Dave Meltzer has already rated Wrestle dream.
I'm just trying to do a play.
Unless you just like take him as he is now, but that'd be
No, I
hard
was
because
talking about me.
Oh.
he hasn't.
I
he's
hear
on
voices.
story right now. That he's upset in the locker room because he was this.
But yeah, I don't miss them.
Oh, we're
much
not
more.
doing the 10 bell
The
salute
only
thing.
one
Have
that's
we
still
done
missing in
that? Have
action
we?
is Griff Garrison. He's the one that got the short man and the short straw and the fucking stick there.
AEW. I think it says something like where wrestle dreams become
What?
reality.
Colin Young
Yeah, here we go.
from Twitching Tongues write a lot of excellent music for entrances, including Julia. He also writes all the music for Brody's band. Fun fact! I like that. Fun fact. Thank you.
Right, I did not know that. The
But,
boy,
To like
Predictions champion. Get in that chat.
as I've got stat, just elbowing and what now. Oh, go for the pharmacy blondes. I kind of like that.
didn't work out with WWE because they were in NXT, weren't they? And
Sammy
they did
Callahan
have
debuted.
meetings and
Well, that's
whatever. I
another
wonder
thing
why
that
nothing
people, I
came
saw a
of
couple
that.
people had
I
mentioned.
wonder if it was something to do with Bray's injury
Callahan's
that
up for
time
free agent
away.
too. Maybe
I remember
Callahan's
the timeline.
new era. Ready to go hardcore.
There's a
We're gonna
sign
go
that says,
attitude.
I'm one of MJF's
Yeah, I saw him
cores.
teasing a couple posts about him and Mox and their history. Would they bring them back
MJF
together?
has got the AEW championship around his waist. He's got both Ring of Honor belts around
I
his
mean,
neck.
it's the perfect role for Sammy Callahan. If Tony's willing to pay him money, Sammy can come
It's
in and fuck
the
some shit
new
up. That's for
Bay
sure.
sign.
I like the idea of Callahan and Gacy together, or at least in that. Even you bring him
You
in.
keep saying
Right, because it sounds fucking good. Because I like the
It
idea of
appears
like
the
Kevin Owens
Devil
versus
has
Sammy
arrived
Callahan.
in Seattle.
Yeah.
Kind of like that idea pretty much.
They weren't signed to NXT. They showed up in the crowds.
Kayla,
I
what up?
understand
John,
they
what
actually
up?
went
Did you
for like a meeting
talk
and a
about my
tryout
comment?
and all that stuff, which is why they were in the crowd. I
Yeah,
don't think they were just in the crowd.
Yeah, I really love
There's
the match
rumors
between
that they'd
Josh
gone
and
for,
Claudio
like,
on Zero
the
Hour.
meeting.
Welcome back, John Moxley. Great respect. That's that match. There you go, dear.
And then later that night, they were in the crowd.
If Sammy debuts tonight, Corny's going to stop watching the pay-per-view. Who's to say he started?
Right?
Honestly, with everything he
Someone's
done on Zero
got
Hour,
my
who's to
mask
say
over
he
my
started?
back, says MJF.
He'll be watching this tomorrow morning, sitting around in his boxers, picking the lint out of his belly button.
Adam Cole is hurt.
I'm sitting in a beanbag chair eating Cheetos.
Adam Cole chants.
DMD is taking a sabbatical.
So
from
MJF
AEW
said
for a
he
while.
had nothing
That's
to
what I
do with the
heard.
attack
Not
on
a bad idea.
Wednesday.
Go away for a minute.
How can I miss you if you never leave?
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
Go away a little bit, take a breath. I'm okay with that.
Let me explain what's going to happen right now.
You can be a part-time wrestler. I don't.
These devil
Yeah,
reject
I don't know.
D-heads.
I don't even know if she was doing a part-time wrestling to begin with, and I know that's now she's going to focus less on her dentistry. I don't remember any stories that were
MJF said he's
popping up that she couldn't make a show because she had to do,
No.
Is that
put in
Dutch
somebody's
with a body
fucking
slam? I don't
fillings.
know which one's which.
Yeah. But I mean, just large gaps
Crowd
between her
are
matches.
chanting body slam.
Large, to me, it's crazy.
Here's what's going to happen to you, white boy with dreads.
Oh, Robert Sala is hell bent on going down with Zach Wilson. Yeah. They have no other options. Oh, she fucking bumbled the shit out of that.
Okay.
About watches, I've got
Has
suspended
become
my
cool,
dog.
he says, Jay. Completely jumped shot. It's Adam Cole, Britt and Cole turning heel since which is the large device as COVID thing.
Yeah, she was just like, this isn't going well.
I think
Just
they Ring of Honor. They've been in
You
Ring of
must have
Honor.
slipped,
I've seen some of
fell,
their
bumped your
stuff in Ring of Honor.
motherfucking-
But only
No. Right, no. See, I, that's how I set you up, and then I just come in, all PG on you.
okay, so
Right.
MJF gets the right, just
Give
looks
it.
like it is. It's going to
First
be
time in
a
history,
handicap
TNT title will
match.
be the main event of a pay-per-view.
Jim Cornette loves crunching the Dynamite breakdown, but even he gets bored of seeing 800,000 each week and is more pleased when segments do 1 million or 950.
What's this fucking pay-per-view? I want to be fucking back the fucking game.
Tricky this. Who wins this?
And you're not wrong in that sense. And I mean, again,
if this was a proper AEW team, I feel like they should go over, but this isn't a team that we see in AEW.
A little bit with Tony potentially for making that main event as that clickbait kind of at the very end of the show. People wait for the whole show,
right,
and you don't get it.
But did he do it? And I kind of asked this earlier when you asked about this. But did he do it, or
So
did they
MJF
just
went over to the lady in the crowd and was like, "Can you rub
can have
this?"
that.
Like, and she was like rubbing his shoulder and everything. The security guard got up and started going over it. Looked like he was going to tell her to
and you
stop.
don't deliver, then you get egg on your face. But at the same time, he never said. He just teased it, and everybody ran with it.
So MJF
Brody
wants to
giving
shake
Statlander a
hands,
hard time as Julia coming up from behind.
handshake,
Oh, she slapped the mist out of her mouth.
Yeah,
slap in the
that's gonna
face.
win.
Yeah.
Isn't the main event Brian against
One,
Zack?
two
No, I think
count,
someone was
two
saying
count.
it's Christian, isn't it? Gets right,
Jeff
goes
Garrison is in Ring of
MJF,
Honor. He recently teamed up with Cole
holds on to the
Carter.
rope and
Maria
he
Kanellis Bennett is making some kind of stable kingdom that she came with.
You know we're
Was
going to
Dutch
get.
just-
Maria
I
Kanellis
think
versus
Dutch
CJ
is
Perry.
what's Dutch doing?
Yeah.
Dutch
Hey,
is
we have in the Divas, are we going to watch?
pleased with that. I
Man, we haven't
always
had any Maria. We
appreciate
didn't even
that.
get Maria versus.
Genuinely always appreciate that. Really appreciate when they do that. Leave them waiting there for ages.
Both women on the turnbuckle. I'm a little
They
nervous
have
here.
to-
Spooky.
So-
Oh, that was kind of
It's great that
That really
Dutch
looks
just
straight out of a horror movie.
kind of played loads of times in the past where a
But we
person does
didn't
that.
do
Before we talked about it with actually Tony Storm recently. It's not the wrestler's fault in that one. To me, I blame production. Like, you got a camera right there. Like, you shoot this from a different angle. We don't realize that she pushed that leg.
But that's because they don't have agents. I don't think that, or like agents that don't call the spots. They just really kind of help guide them. She's going to roll through for rolls through on the pin here. It's she's picking her up. But yeah, was really kind of help guide the finish, so they don't know spots. So the production team doesn't know spots to look for. When he does this, because that's who's this. They're just guessing. Oh, she's gonna look up for a second.
The sign that's
How you doing, people?
MJF is going to roll. So, but he has it.
What is you breaking it from, baby?
I think it says something like where wrestle dreams become
Maybe it's
reality.
Maria May that comes out.
Yeah, here we go.
What Tony says. So that's what it's called, or that's what it's called. So I guess that is what it's called.
That's what they're calling it? Sunday Night Fever? Or the Tombstone Finisher?
Chair relax. I'm sorry, that may be is the match of the mix-up. I would say that could be our hero match of the mix-up. But so far, it's been the boy. It's been the worst match
so
so
perfect.
far.
So perfect.
Have there ever been two pro? Yeah, Hook and Orange Cassidy. You know what? And I actually, I hate to say it, but I don't overly mind.
Okay, so the Righteous in the
They're
ring.
your metaphor, like with
Didn't
me.
work out
I don't
with
like. I don't hate it, but it's just like, can you at
because
least
they
give
were
a fuck?
in
Like, they
NXT,
make it
weren't they?
act
And they
like
did
you
have
care,
meetings
so I
and
should
whatever.
care.
I wonder why
If
nothing
I care, why don't you care that I care?
Praise, injury,
Well, folks,
the
up
time
next
away.
is your fatal four-way tag match for
remember
the
the
number
timeline.
one contendership. And this one should be fun. I put my money on
There's
the
a sign
Bucks.
that
I
says,
think Nick's
I'm
gonna
one
take
of
a break if that red dot
MJF's
pops up as I
pals.
said it. I read your
so
eyeballs going,
MJF has got the AEW championship around his waist. He's got
think I
both
actually
Ring of
snapped
Honor
it on it. I think I
belts
actually
around his
took.
neck.
yeah.
I think that's no. I think I took the guns.
Better
I
than
think I took
you,
the guns.
baby
That
sign.
Okay.
I'll lock it in.
I think you'll see in the
It appears the devil has arrived in the show to pick
I
you
honestly
out.
think they could be a team that
I
they got a chance to
understand they
go
actually
to
went for like a meeting and a tryout.
They're
and
doing
all that
fucking
stuff, which
really
is
well.
why they were in the crowd. I don't think they were just in the crowd.
The attitude, the charisma.
There was
They're on
rumors
their
that
way
they'd
up.
gone
And
for,
again,
like,
yeah, very
a
much like
meeting.
that Brian Pillman Jr. You sign him, you
And
get
then
him
later
to
that night,
NXT,
they
you
were
give
in
him a
the ring.
little bit of seasoning, you send him out to the world. It's beautiful.
That's when you get Billy back as a coach. You get the whole family back. Tell me that is the collection. The DX collection
Someone
is
stole
completed.
my
You get
mask
Road
out of my
Dogg,
bag, says
Sean,
MJF.
Kevin, Hunter, Sean, all, and you had Billy
Adam
too,
Cole is
all under
her.
one roof. Yeah, DX is
Well,
running
they-
the fucking show, literally.
They'd have Kevin too, but he's a little unstable. So once he
Adam Cole
figures his shit out, they might get him back in the mix.
Yeah,
So MJF said
Like,
he had nothing
get
to
rid
do
of
with
that
the
LA
attack
Knight guy.
on Wednesday.
he's doing too much, brother. He's another vanilla midget. But I will be back soon.
Here come the Lucha
Here's
Brothers.
what's
Big
gonna
Nick's
happen
taking
right
a pause
now.
for the cause, folks. We got about 100 people hanging around with us right now. So
These
make sure you
devil
get in the chat.
reject,
Say hello.
D-hits.
Don't be a stranger. Don't be shy. We do this for all the shows. We will be back tomorrow for WWE Raw and then all through the week heading towards Fastlane. And it's not
MJF said he's
going
gonna,
to Survivor Series after that. We got
Is
Wrestling
that
Revolver
Dutch
coming up.
with a body
We got
slam? I don't know which
PCW
one's
coming
which.
up. We got tons of shit coming your way. So
Brad
make sure you hit
champion
like,
body
make sure you
slam.
subscribe. Be a friend, tell a friend. If you are anywhere discussing wrestling, drop our link. Let them know. If you're
Here's what's
watching
going to
other
happen to
parties,
you,
you're not
white
having a
boy
good
with
time.
dreads.
So, that all being said, we are going along. Get your predictions in for this match if you want to contend for the prediction championship here on this channel. Good job, Stat. Yeah, decent win for Stat. I don't
MJF
disagree.
has
Here
become
comes
corny,
Hook.
says Jay. Completely jumped the
Who
shot.
won the women's match? Statlander.
It's Adam Cole,
Convincingly.
Britt, and Cole
So
turning
it
heel,
looks like she
says the
put that one
killer.
to bed pretty quick.
Dutch is the larger
The
guy, says
rise and
Corbin.
fall of
Thank
Julia
you.
Hart.
I don't watch. I think they're in Impact on.
Lucha Bros. Okay, Lucha Bros. I think
I've
been there,
never
done that with
really
Lucha
seen. I
Bros.
think I know
2
Ring of
1
Honor.
says
They've been in Ring of
Alexis.
Honor. I've seen some of
Elite
their
are cold,
stuff in Ring of
strong
Honor,
fish,
but only
and other guys.
when it looked like they were coming into WWE, so I wanted to
Oh,
find
I
out
like
a
it,
bit
I like
about
it.
them.
Real strong fish. And O'Reilly, Mr. O'Reilly. And this guy dressed as Orange Cassidy can't wait for this moment.
Okay, so
Can't
MJF
wait.
gets the
He's
Righteous.
on
Looks
his
like it is
toes.
going to be a handicap
I
match.
dressed like him. He's coming. He's coming.
Jim Cornette
Now we
loves
get 900
crunching
super
the
kicks.
Dynamite breakdown, but
Yeah.
even he gets bored of seeing 800,000 each week
2-1.
and is more
Young
pleased
Bucks
when
for the win.
segments
I'm
do
with you,
a million
CG. I got
or
Young Bucks all
950,
night
says
long.
Big Time.
I don't mind the stage and such tonight. I like it. By the way,
Crowd
Gun
sign
Club for the
says,
win.
I dig what he's
Who
saying.
won the women's match? Got that one.
Trending
OC for the
worldwide
OC
right
Hook for the win.
now,
Box win. Mike Clayton
Wrestle
says.
Dream.
Gun Club for the win.
First
I like
match,
it.
MJF against
I'll
the
say Young Bucks for
Righteous.
the win. Oh, okay.
Tricky this. Who
Gun
wins
Club's a good
this?
show.
I mean,
They've been doing well. Of course, they're building up Bullet Club Gold.
It's tricky. If this
I
was a
have no
proper
problem.
AEW
I
tag
could see
team,
OC
then I
and
feel like they should go
To be
over.
honest,
But this isn't a
I
team
think
that
out
we
of the
see in
4 teams,
AEW.
the Lucha Bros are least likely to win at this juncture. The Guns are pretty deadly. Would be a banger. Let's go, Jay. No, I think the the Guns have a lot of
So
upside, a
MJF
lot of
went over to
potential.
a lady in the
And again,
crowd and was like, "Can
perfect
you
challenge
rub
for the
this?"
WWE
Like, and she was
to
like
hands-on.
rubbing his shoulder and everything.
Or
The security
Brittany
guard got
coming
up
to
and started
maximize
going
so
over it.
they
It
don't
looked like he was
keep-
going to tell her to stop.
And here come the Cucamonga kids.
So MJF wants
Why
to shake
Statlander?
hands.
Why TK? I know it's not going to be a popular choice. I don't know. It
Handshake.
didn't feel like there's going to be any residual anything from
Slap in
that
the face.
altercation. It was a clean win, no interference, no.
Isn't the main
You know,
event right
really,
against
Lex Luger
that?
shows up
No,
on
I think someone
Dynamite
was
or
saying it's Christian,
Collision
isn't
or
it?
Rampage.
Gets right,
And
goes
goes after
MJF.
her again, but she just beat her convincingly.
Holds on to
So,
the rope and he
Onto the net.
struts.
I got the Guns. I've always been high on the Cheeks. Cheek man myself, JV.
Dutch charges
Total points for
over.
that.
MJF,
Just stack up that one. Lucha goes for the win.
Slingshot Vincent into the ring. Dutch is over by the ropes.
Reminded me to tell.
Was Dutch just staying there? I
Tell you,
think
he
Dutch
said
is.
yes
What's
to the
Dutch
interview.
doing?
He can do it. End of November when he comes to
Dutch is
Thanksgiving.
out,
Here
so
you go,
that's good.
If-
I'm really pleased at that. I
I
always
will be
appreciate
thanked.
that.
No, that's awesome.
Genuinely,
Jake. That'd be
always
really
appreciate that because I've seen it so
cool. Just
many
made it
times
99
where
likes.
they
Come
don't
on,
do
folks,
it.
make it
I
100.
really
Let's go,
appreciate when they
let's
do
go.
that.
I predict
If
the
you
Box
put
Cloud
someone
Driver.
in a position in the ring and you leave them waiting there for ages,
I predict a couple boxes.
they have to
Lucha
protect
Ho!
themselves, right, and
we're
stop
getting the
themselves from
ding,
looking
ding,
like
so
idiots.
predictions.
So
I would say
it's
last
great
call
that
on
Dutch just
predictions, folks.
was
Get 'em in,
playing
you got
possum,
10
you know,
seconds.
and so
If you
then
haven't made
attacked
predictions,
MJF. I've
by
seen
the
it
time I
loads
hit
of times in the
enter,
past where
it will
someone will be
not
put in a
count.
position and they're
But
waiting,
we have a
they're
fatal
waiting,
four-way,
they're
the
waiting,
Young
and then the
Bucks,
person does
the
the
Lucha
move
Bros,
and they land
the
it.
Ass Boys,
And it just makes the other person look stupid, like you couldn't have recovered in the 10
I don't
seconds
know. We haven't
that
come
you
up with a name
had.
yet for hooking.
Like you had loads of
We're working
time
on it.
and you just like, I don't know, you stopped.
Bum, bum,
You
bum.
shut down.
I got
Your
you, bro. I
battery
got
ran
you,
out.
bro.
And
3-0.
Dutch being over by the ropes
Look
there, it's like,
deserves
what's he
to hold
doing?
that belt.
Like, you could see him looking as
Again, it
well,
doesn't-
and he's looking like this,
Sure.
and it's like,
I mean,
man,
you're not wrong
if
about it,
he
Dana,
then gets hit,
but
it's just
again,
going to
it's
make
not-
this look so
There's
rubbish.
not a lot going
It's
on.
going to make
There's
it
not
look
a lot happening.
really fake, really phony, really
OC and Hook
rubbish.
for the Club Gang, bitch.
But I really appreciate the fact that as soon as MJF went over to him,
All right, so we're
hit him
starting
with a
off.
big clothesline, he was like, you know, playing possum.
Phoenix.
So
What is that?
that's just a little example of something
Phoenix
that could have
looking
gone a
hurt.
bit awry here,
EVP
but
unfortunately,
it didn't.
Olivia
It's
John.
actually turned into a positive.
EVPs for the
Potential
win, and then they
negative
beat
turned
FTR
into a
down the
positive.
line. I agree. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Elbows
The
to
Bucks
the
beat
midsection
FTR
by
Wembley. They
MJF,
will
clubbing
get
blow
their
there by
comeuppance.
Dutch.
I'm convinced of it.
If you cannot read
We
my book,
have
understand,
Wrestling
and will
Revolver
not
shows
set
on
on
Silver
yourself.
Free
Mocking
women's
you, it will
tournament
be there
and
when you
Revolver
are ready.
Redemption, KJ and Nick. Thank you, James.
William, shout out to you. I hope everything's all right.
Bang, bang, bang.
Okay,
Bang, bang,
Dutch
bang,
in
bang.
the ring,
The Cheeks
standing
boys.
behind MJF.
Something
MJF
went wrong
went
that
to
session,
tag,
but
but
I'm surprised
realised
DK
he's
hasn't
on his
made
own,
OC
baby.
the EVP of whatever. Well, he's transitioned a little bit into
He's
a
getting
backstage
skipped
role,
up.
so
MJF
Good for
on his feet. He tries to
That's
pick
the
up Dutch.
gun.
Dutch lands on top of him.
That's off the apron.
Shoulder up.
3-0. The Jets defense
Coming over,
looks like
making
they
the
have
tag.
given up. Woo.
MJF
Young
is
Bucks
picked up
booked
power
themselves
bombs.
Right.
Swanton connects
One
by
set. Tony
Vincent.
needs
Kick
to hire
out by
Teddy Long.
MJF. It's going to have to. It's going
Let's
to take a
go.
lot more than
Come on
that,
for it.
Vincent. Come on, mate.
We're getting an Ass Boys chant from the crowd.
Over in the corner, MJF. Quick
OC
tag.
with the roll-up.
In comes Dutch.
OC and Hook for the win.
Dutch.
Fair enough to take it. The Jets are getting killed right now.
Lovely,
As expected.
like a deep six.
Welcome back,
by
ladies.
Dutch.
Looking. Jason.
It feels a little early in the match for them to be getting pinfalls, and then when he kicks out at two, them looking shocked.
105
It
likes.
feels a
That's
little
better,
bit
nigga.
early for that.
That's what I like to hear.
We've already had it 2 or
Oh,
3
wait.
times.
The ref giving him the finger.
MJF
Waggy
again
one.
kicks out.
Letting them know. Letting them know.
There's number 4.
Here comes
Fourth
the
time,
super
can't
kick.
believe it.
Oh, no punches.
Can't believe that didn't put him away.
OC.
I can't
I
believe
see
that didn't beat the
103. Now let's see
AEW
if
World
we can
Champion.
get a congruent view to match like that. Yeah, let's get this to 100. Let's go. Let's go. Let's
MJF
go.
is down.
That's Smelly Mark Excalibur.
With all the
just
edge talk,
letting
I
slip.
thought
Bucks are winning.
they would have
Scraps eventually.
sold
Did he?
more tickets.
What did he
There's
say,
can't
Money?
stop, won't stop.
I try and block him out. That's why we're the
Will you be
alternative
surprised if Edge
content
shows up? Yes. MJF
Alex
goes
said no about
low.
Edge. No one knows. He said Tony runs AEW very corporate behind the scenes.
Why doesn't he? I don't understand why he's hitting with the chair.
Bucks have to
Why didn't he
get
just hit
their
with the chair?
win back. I
MJF
agree.
grabs him.
100%. Not that they have to, but they personally have to. Big kick.
But look,
7 minutes left in the first quarter, and the Chiefs are beating them 17-0.
I don't know why we do it. I don't know why we do it. I don't know why we take the AEW World Champion and then put him in like these
I don't know what the
silly,
Jets have
like
to offer
comedy
back.
matches. We did it
I
before.
mean, it's not like
We've been
KC's
doing
the
it when
Bills
he's
and,
been doing like
Bull
this.
Elite. It's not going to happen.
I really don't like this
Yes, I
MJF.
slipped that one in
I
when
don't
Nick
like this
wasn't here.
version of MJF. I think MJF is
We have to
fantastic.
wrestle.
Heel.
MM
I think he's got a
Revolver
great
shows
promo
October.
delivery.
Read that one already.
This
You're repeating
silly
yourself.
comedy
OG
version of
Styles,
MJF
etc.,
is just
real
not
Bullet
for
Club.
me, man.
The OG Bullet Club, my guy.
Not for me at all.
Absolutely. I still
I'm
think
really
there's a
excited
possibility
for his
of
feud
Damian
with
that were in those
Switchblade Jay White. I think
those,
that's going to be really fun.
black disguises.
I think though it
Oh,
should. I'm
up
damn
and over.
hoping it's going to be serious. But like, I mean, he grabbed.
I'm proud of the Gun
Vincent,
Boys. Come a long way. I'm with you. Absolutely.
downstairs,
They've shown
shall
a
we
lot
say.
of progression, a lot of
and
a
Vincent
lot of growth.
standing
But
there
again,
and
they
like,
got
he's
natural
got a chair in his
charisma.
hand.
They grew up around the business.
Cracking with the
Fathers
chair.
were doing it
I
at
mean-
a high level, which is crazy. They've been great, especially since they separated from their dad.
Virtually
got
being
involved with the
smashed
Bullet
into
Club. They've
the
really been able to
corner.
show
Instead,
themselves.
he just
But
started
if you guys go
melting. I
back
actually saw
to
a
the
man
pandemic era,
melt.
like the Gun Club, the Gun Boys, were
She's
two
just
of the
like
most
super
consistent,
sensitive, to, like
loud
extra sensitive.
jobbers just sitting at ringside week in and week out, making noise,
MJF
making
biting
videos.
the
I love it.
forehead there of Vincent.
Ray Phoenix is a dangerous worker.
MJF,
He's the Nia
moving out
Jax
the
of
way.
AEW.
Dutch goes into Vincent. MJF
They do a
now
lot of
said
stunts.
he was going to do that
I mean,
body
Is
slam.
he a dangerous worker or is it just the nature
He's
of his style?
going
I
to go
don't
for it.
know. I would argue that.
He body
Double
slams him,
suplex.
and the people
I would
appreciate
argue
it.
that, again, accidents happen. I don't really get, unless a wrestler's being careless, I don't know that he's careless. I mean, we see
They
broken legs.
do
We
it
saw
because the
Phoenix
company
pop his
is,
elbow
as Joe
out
said,
on the
Michael,
screen.
the dudes
mean,
are a bunch of
It's
late
brutal
90s
spots. I don't
Jericho
think you want to break his
marks.
arm. So it's just when you're
I mean,
consistently.
look, all I'll say
It's
is that
like
it's got fans.
fucking
You
playing
can see
chicken
that
with
people are
traffic. You're running
enjoying
across
it.
the highway every day.
But
Eventually, you're
you
going to
have
get
to
sick
look
with
at
the
the ratings
card.
to see that
When
it
you do
ain't
it
bringing
more,
in new
your
viewers.
numbers go up. Your likelihood goes up. And that's what we see sometimes. AEW pushes the
I
envelope.
think MJF
High
is very
risk, high
talented.
reward,
I think he's a
and
fantastic
also
heel.
high levels
I think
of
that he's got
time.
the ability to deliver some
Superman
really good
punch
lines.
hit
His
by Colby Gunn as
delivery
he's back in the ring.
is exceptional.
They need
I
to
mean, that
figure
guy
out
could
how to
read a
shoot
phone book
these
and make
matches.
it interesting. He
Well, I mean,
is
they
such
brought in
a
some
talent.
production people and such,
But,
ex-WWE people, go figure.
Yeah,
And
I
they
mean,
they
I'm
have
not
improved. They've
watching.
come a long way.
Look at
They've come
Dutch
a long
and
way.
Vincent just
And I
in
say
the
that,
corner.
mind you, a
Look
couple
at
weeks
that.
ago,
What is this?
we get to see the action behind the scenes like a collision. Some bad angle shots. I think at times the production hurts
Goes
the
over,
wrestlers, right?
starts
If
shaking the
Moxley's in
ropes.
the ring and he's gigging himself, don't zoom in
Dutch
on him
and
gigging
Vincent doing like a
himself.
flipping
Show
human
something
centipede
else. Show the
impression in the
camera free.
corner.
Do anything. But, we saw it earlier.
One,
Julia Hart
two,
clearly put Statlader's
three.
leg on the rope.
MJF
I
wins,
get there's a
uses
level
the
of
ropes to
cooperation
win.
to this, but I don't want to see it. It ruins the fun.
Not for me. That's what I'll say.
We have
Put in your
PCW Fight
thoughts.
Club Part 1
Score
on
that
October
match.
7th and Part
But,
2 on October 8th.
that
Holy
is
shit. We got
absolutely
the
not for
also
me.
Thanksgiving in Canada, by the way. The card looks pretty
No,
good. I'll let you
what I
know.
would say is that
I know we're here for
there was a
Fastlane
few
now weekend.
moments where
I
I
think
was a
Billy
little
Gunn
worried
was,
about it.
in
They
the first
didn't go
ever
off the rails in the
Forbidden
early stages.
You might have been.
I like seeing the Righteous.
Very funny you mentioned blowing leaves.
Going to work on MJF.
I called them the Leafs and the Chiefs all at the same time.
MJF said,
I
"I'm
swear
going
you
to body
that
slam
one.
this one," and he did it, and the crowd popped.
Excalibur was talking
He did
about
the
Buck
kangaroo
title
kick,
run,
and the crowd
and then
popped.
caught himself and tacked on potentially at the end.
He
Yeah.
is certainly, even in this babyface run, like pleasing the people. But
what I
it
missed, what
ain't doing it
matches
for me.
on
If it
TV?
ain't
Right now
doing
we
it for
got a
me, I
bit
gotta
of
think it
Ray
ain't doing
John
it for other people
for
as well.
the tag titles.
So I
between
think mixed
Hook,
opinions.
OC, the Bucks,
But,
the Lucha Bros, and the Gun Club.
I think
And
there'll be
it's been a
people
lot
that still
of-
enjoy the match.
Like the gun club, a lot of ins and
Yeah, I
outs.
mean, look
Like,
at this.
again, no tagging, the gun club running amok.
KX
Not a
Ty
bad
says
match,
4.
just all over the place.
George said
The ref
thumbs down,
is the
but
equivalent of
Leon
a
says
fucking pilot.
2.
Oh, I
Isri
don't know
said
what happened
1.
there. A bit
MJF
of a
could have done
miscue, but
better. The
Buck
real
Ridge,
Carl says
the
3.
athlete
So we've had a
ran each other.
4, a 3, a 2, and a 1.
KJ, what are the chances Jay White got pretend jumped by the
Listen,
Bullet Club
if you enjoyed
and they were
it,
trying to
it's absolutely
people.
fine. It doesn't bother me at all.
I don't know how you
if you enjoyed it, brilliant.
Like, what would
Plenty
this
of people enjoyed it.
Like, what
Plenty of
sets
people
that
in the
up?
room
Period.
enjoyed it.
I'm not saying
So
a
if
bit
you
of a
enjoyed
reach,
it, brilliant.
but
It just
what would
wasn't
that
for me.
set up? What would that allow?
This silliness that we're doing with MJF at the moment is just.
But we
not
got a
what I
flurry
look
of
for.
offense, as
But
Nigel
if
points
you
out.
had a great laugh
Santa,
and you
super
enjoyed it, and
kick.
you're like, you know what, for a Sunday night, I really
We
enjoyed that.
got. Oh no, we don't. Lock
Absolutely
up,
brilliant.
pump
But I do think
down.
that you've got someone there who has the ability to deliver segments that, like, the majority are going to really enjoy, really appreciate.
They're promoting hook
I just don't
housing
think that's the
for
best use of
AEW
MJF.
game.
That's what it
he's
comes
doing
down
with
to, you know. I
Orange,
think that's
don't
what it
get
comes down to. Is
I mean,
that
I
the
think it's just
best
something
way
for
to use
Orange
MJF?
Cassidy to do.
I
You
just
took him
don't
away
think
from
it
the
is.
title picture, but you still want him to be
And I
relevant.
think that if this company is going to really get going with the ratings and really
Again,
do
I'm willing
something
to give it
really,
a try.
you know,
I really like.
compete and grow and all that, I think you've got to be
I
getting
really
the
like
absolute
Hook.
most, the
I like
absolute best out of your top
I don't
stars.
hate the idea of them working
But
together.
this is why I'm so
We'll just see
excited
where
for
it goes.
MJF against
Potentially winning
Switchblade,
tonight.
because I think that is going to
And
be
we
a
did
really
hit the
great feud. So
century
I'm
mark
really
here
looking
on
forward
the
to
channel. I
it.
like it. Remember in them
And if it results in a more serious like MJF as well, I mean,
They were outstanding.
brilliant, let's go.
They really brought it. I mean, not
It's,
everybody did
Eddie
that.
Kingston.
Sometimes they stand around to the crowd.
Eddie Kingston
Some of
making
the-
his
the
way
non-wrestling
down to the
wrestlers
ring.
and the top
It's going to be Eddie
weren't
against
overly enthused about
Shibata.
watching, but the Gun Club got right into it. But I could see,
I must
yeah.
admit, that
I mean,
first
they
match,
got
I think it was one
they're young
that
talent. They got a
I
lot
gave like
going
half
for
a
them.
star to.
Superman
There's a lot
punch!
on this
Here
card
it
that I'm
comes.
looking
Oh my
forward
God.
to. There's a lot on this
Oh no,
card
we got
that
a
I think
Jackson
looks
back
really
up on
good.
this. Speaking of wait, you
Oh, I was gonna say,
Yeah,
as you
that's
gonna
what
say about we got
was,
Jackson back up on top there,
my
right?
taste buds. We still have Swerve, who I really like Swerve. But,
Yeah, I'll take that.
we've still got
You can have
FTR.
But no, I
We've
did.
got the
There
Don
was one
Callis
point that you
family.
mentioned
I
about
really
like how
like what we've been doing
we've
there.
seen a lot of like
Takeshita,
just
I think it's
injuries
pretty
and
cool.
losses
Sammy,
and just kind of
yeah,
really.
can do some
I
good stuff
like
with
how
Ospreay.
because we've seen it even WWE and WWE used to run
Christian,
that whole,
been
you know,
liking
don't try
Christian's
this
work.
out. AEW's
Kingston's
version
be
of that
alright.
is just fuck around
I'm
and
down for
find out.
this. Nikki Starks, like Nikki Starks. So there's plenty of
You saw Murphy
plenty
try and
of
put
juicy
pop his,
stuff
had
on
the
the way.
ref pop his shoulder back into place.
Let's
to
see
finish the
what
match.
we get with match number 2. Obviously with AEW, there's no breaks.
Mm-hmm.
Like he hit a cable
Just go
like a
bang straight into the next match.
You
Second match of
saw
the evening. Shot coming in there
Martin's
by
leg go that way.
Eddie Kingston.
Go that way.
and again, we saw Phoenix's elbow pop
Yeah,
out.
another
Like it's
chop
not supposed to
coming
go
in
that way.
by Eddie
Right.
Kingston. We are
Double
doing
super kick.
they love this, don't they? Where they just take the chops.
Double super kick.
Shibata going
Austin.
down is in a
nice.
seated position.
That's
He's
a super
asking for
kick.
more.
Another super kick. Nobody saw it.
Oh, what the fuck
Another
was
chop
that?
there by Eddie Kingston again.
And Penta still had to take the
Shibata
move.
coming forward
they
into the
didn't want
midsection. Takes Kingston
man,
over. Kick coming to the
just
back
fell
there
on
by
his fucking
Shibata. Chop to the
You're
front.
shitting me.
Now Eddie
That's
Kingston
the
wants
finish.
chops.
I told you they were going to win because they need to get their W back.
Eddie
So then they're
Kingston
going
putting
against
his
FTR, so is it
straps
just to
down.
build up some
Kick
international
coming in there
FTR,
by
maybe we actually get
Shibata.
some fucking serious will behind this, or
Eddie
do you
Kingston
really
goes
think that they're
down
gonna
and
just-
Shibata
no, now
covers
you
it.
did your thing. Now
Shibata
we
trying
this is
to
ours.
grab a
now.
hold
We're
of the
trios
arm, but
now,
Eddie
too.
Kingston had it scouted.
Receipt is coming, my guy.
Oh, bro, if that
Shibata
if
trying
there's fucking
to
nails
pull
in
on the
the
arm.
It's been predictable. And again, I
Down on
don't
the ground
want-
at the moment. Shibata trying to really
Again,
still
I
trying to
knew
get this
Bucks
on,
were
but it's a
gonna win
good
this one.
defense by
Mm.
Eddie
And I hope they
Kingston.
didn't. It was one of those things of they won't do that. But
Eddie
yeah, here
Kingston
he's
trying to
fighting
get
itself.
over to the
See,
ropes.
Money
He's got
pointed
his
out
foot
that,
on
you
the
know,
rope,
You know,
and
Excalibur was
that's
kind
going
of
to break
talking
the hold.
about their title run or their chase for the title.
Do you a little
potentially.
cluster of empty
Right.
seats? I don't know what that
Yeah,
is.
man. I
It
think
might just be people that are empty seats.
And now win this. It's just it shows so much
How
that as
many,
much as they want to
how
try
many,
and save
I think like it's set up for 5,000, isn't it?
it's not a fucking
case their
How many people are actually
best.
Welcome back.
Eddie Kingston, middle
Yeah.
of the ring.
Well, we just watched Nick Jackson sit there and fucking face plant, throwing on the ropes there, and just have to eat shit like nothing happened.
Available
What
tickets,
kills
there was
me-
only
yeah, that's
500.
fine.
That's
section
one thing
that's, like,
proven
not
with this
been
fucking
made
company is they
available.
can't pivot. As we're about to get Swerve.
Just really
And
with the
Adam
floor
Page,
section.
this is arguably
I'm
probably the
surprised they
best
haven't got.
album.
They tend to have where there's empty seats. They have
Alright,
a lot
well,
of people in
is
the
a
past
guy
to go
that
and
they
sit
could
in those
use
seats, haven't they, to
as
make
key
it seem
guy.
full. They have had those.
He's the guy that you
We've
could
seen,
have
we've
challenge
seen
MJF
interviews
for the title.
or
One has
camera
to
shot,
be
and so they
twice.
go and put a load of people and sit them in the.
Or
Those
just
seats, actually, I'm quite interested in this.
And I'm pretty confident I know exactly what happened to Swerve at WWE. You know, they were
Vince
broke the thing
reached
with
the
back on it.
ropes.
That's
Right.
Oh, get rid of them all. They're all shit. No, there was
Okay.
this. There's a man behind him that's really good.
Back.
Again, he's got a headlock
Yeah,
being
what
applied
up,
there
Bobby,
on
what
Eddie
up?
Kingston. Eddie Kingston getting
that
up to
wasn't
his
Hart's
feet.
first loss. It's interesting though that the past two times,
Straight goes over to the corner.
I believe so.
Big times that WWE did
Right.
14,000 for
Bucks would never
pay-per-view, didn't they?
It'd be NXT.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah,
hard.
you know me.
It's hard. We keep
Yeah, but
saying it. It's
I think
hard.
again,
You know,
it's
we know
really
that AEW have got a bit of a
Again,
problem with
if you're
momentum.
just tuning in,
Sales
I'd
are
rather
where
watch
they
the
are.
pre-show.
WWE
I'd rather watch
struggled. Have
fucking
struggled.
Lothario's at this point.
There's
They got-
plenty of pictures of
I'd
them
rather
on their
watch-
hard cam
There's
site
always
having
the tag
loads of
teams, even
empty
in this
seats as well.
company,
So
that I'd rather see. I'd
this
rather
isn't a
see
let's
OC and Hook
pile in and have a pop at
instead of
AEW type thing. I just
You feel like all
just
of
wondered
those
as
teams
to
press
why
from
they
one match to the
hadn't
next,
got
that they
like
do
those
something
seat
different, do
fillers and
something
were like just trying to
unique.
go for
There's
some of
something
these
that makes
obvious
you're right.
empty
There's something that
seats.
makes that match feel different.
For the
than the
hard
last.
cam, but
You don't ever
to be
get
honest,
that
a few
now.
people have arrived
They
in
have
those
reached
seats,
their
so
ceiling
it could
and
just be
refuse
that
to
people
admit
were
it.
getting drinks or something.
I agree. Folks, get your predictions in.
Shots
This
coming in
match
as
the embassy
Eddie
is
Kingston
coming out.
is
Nana and the crew.
down
with
missile.
Swerve. I
Drop
thought
kick,
Swerve
big
was
drop
gonna
kick
stop
there
doing
by
that.
Shibata.
They're in Seattle, so he gets to
And
dance.
William said, I'm sick of seeing inflated ticket prices. There's so
Yeah,
many
well, that's what
used
your
to
big
somehow
baby
make
face in this match get
AEW better than it is.
I
Who
agree.
cares?
Seattle going. Ooh,
Michael
like
said, I heard Jake
Seattle
Cargill's in
going
WWE. Is
0-4
that
tonight.
true?
Chris,
It is true.
Sky Blue turns 25.
Steve said,
Not
what
that he keeps
happened to
track
the Jackson aligning with Bray? Well,
The
my
nicknames are
understanding
back
was
for
they came in
Cage.
and were at the Performance Center and had like
No,
talks
they
and
were actually were
and,
never to
like,
my
there was
knowledge.
conversation, and as I was saying earlier, like
But
there
no,
was
they
rumors
were
of
in
that, and
TNA
then
as Generation Me.
I
I
don't
know
know if it's
me.
Friday or the next
They
day.
were never in WWE.
They
part of
were
TNA.
at NXT sat in the crowd.
DJ, what up? If
We
Swerve
saw
loses, I
got everyone
ride.
excited because it's
Who
like,
won?
well,
Who
there
won
clearly
what?
is something to these rumors. If
The
they're
Bucks
down
won the
there,
four-way
then
tag.
WWE
There's right now, like,
just,
we
you know,
got
watching
Swerve looking like a fucking
NXT, I would
Batman
imagine, as guests.
right now.
Um,
Coming out, and he's got the microphone as Nana still just dancing. And I know I was doing it,
that
but
was, I
even
mean,
fucking
them
Eric
doing
Bischoff's
their
doing it
social
all.
media
It's
teasers.
so
I mean,
crazy
there was
to me
pictures
how
of them
much
with like a 6 in the background,
Nana
all this kind of stuff.
being around Swerve has
All of
gotten
it, I've said it
old.
before till I'm blue in the face. When it
Whose
comes to
house
stuff being
Swerve
teased on
house,
social
right?
media, take it with a pinch of salt. Sometimes it can be true, but
It's so
there's
weird that
plenty
we
of
brought
occasions
from
where it is not.
Swerve in our glory. We
You know,
got
I mean, Becky, she was away from WWE for a while. Did you see that
you know,
picture by
Jackass,
Becky? It looks
Kevin
like Becky's coming
McDonald.
back, and of course she
So
didn't.
now we're here with the
And
Moses
I
to
don't
see
know how many
Prince
times
on it.
people
Like, this
read
somehow was
into
made
different
still fucking
teases
working,
for.
but the
Well,
best
there was a whole thing when Edge came back at SummerSlam that
Matt
he had
Jackson
been
was
hit
on
the
Smack.
people
Oh,
were
so he did a job
spray.
in
So
his
people
match.
thought that
Okay,
meant
you
brain.
might
So
have to-
yeah, you've got like lots of like stuff in definitely
Yeah,
links
yeah,
to
right now,
sayings
wait,
that didn't really mean, and it's written like the bar gate thing. But that, you know, you take with a pinch of salt. But in all this, that's what got people really
I'm
excited.
I really
signed W
uh,
Impacts or something. They
so I
just popped
think
WWE.
that would feel
And the deal was, a lot of
think
people
that
would
he
like to know
feels
why
like
they
that
didn't come.
guy.
because they'd be perfect. They're great, absolutely
He
perfect.
feels
They
very
look
much
the
more
part,
skewed
don't
like
they?
an AEW guy.
Shibata
Because
has
most
got
of his
Eddie
good prominent
Kingston
singles run
down on
and everything
the ground. Got him all kind of tied up.
has been in AEW. I almost feel like he
Kingston
spent more time in
manages to
AEW
grab a
than he
hold
did in
of the
WWE.
rope.
Swerve to
And,
win,
the hold is gonna be broken.
Swervy's win.
WWE
Precious
charge
Ways
$500
was,
for
Hangman
popular
wins.
wrestlers.
Well, he does have a
It's
little bit of that
expensive for working class people
preferential
to
treatment
go
like you just saw
to
with the Young
those
Bucks there.
events.
So there is very much the potential
Really,
that
$500
could
to
get
meet
the
like certain wrestlers. That's got to be like your Stone
win
Cold
here.
stuff.
It'd be interesting.
I
think
agree,
somebody
though.
else put out that
That's
maybe
serious money.
Seattle, the hometown crew goes 0-4
That's
here,
serious
so
money.
then I guess that means
Sean said, as
is-
this would be to see Edge in
I think
AEW.
Swerve needs
It could
the
be
win. I
good
think
for them,
Swerve
just as it
benefits
could
more
be
from
good
the
for
win.
Jade to be in
Hangman, because of his
WWE.
little EVC
Oh,
button,
it'd be amazing for
is never
AEW.
going to slide far,
Amazing.
despite
I mean, that'd be
what
Christmas coming up.
they'll still put him
That'd be
as
Tony's
an
Christmas
upper
and his
card.
birthday
Right.
present this year. If he could get, if he could
So
get,
I very much
I mean,
can
that'd
see
be
where they
absolutely
can give it
massive.
to him. Just on the
For,
news that
Phil.
brought,
No.
the AEW was where it was revealed that Kenny Omega
I reckon there might
filming
be a few
these
seat
taking
fillers at play
pictures
there.
of Allison's cash.
But yeah, I think
Swerve the
things get their
two count,
attention.
Hangman
It's a
sucks.
Northern Lights bomb there by Eddie Kingston, who
But
had a big
yeah,
smile on
Hangman
his
sucks.
face.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Kingston looking to put
Who's for
Shibata
Hangman?
away.
He's gonna
Picks him
win,
up.
but that's what I'm saying. Now
Powerbombs
you
him
have
down.
your
1,
baby
2,
face
3.
getting
Eddie Kingston
booed
wins.
in a match versus your heel. Radio right now. Absolutely, but
Now
I love
Kiss.
Swerve's
The sign
promos,
that
you
says
know.
now Kiss.
What the cowboy to a mole, what the a buckshot
Matt
to a
King.
shot. All that. Like that's
Someone dressed
that's
as
old
Where's
ass
Wally?
material. Whether you're doing the match in Seattle, whether you're doing that match in New York, whether you're doing it in fucking Florida, from
Eddie
East
Kingston.
Coast to West Coast, North to
Tony
South.
would
Wherever
want
you-
Edge to talk trash about
Swerve
WWE,
gets
and he
this
wouldn't
this
do it like
program
Danielson, says James.
But
AEW loses
I
CM
think
Punk
it gets
definitely
weird when you've
affects
got your
AEW.
babyface in this match. Set up
Do
to
you
get
think
booed
Tony has
because
a
you got it in
tendency
the
to
heel,
only
so, very
then
much so.
you're
I think the ladder's
prioritising them
more
over
accurate
you to
right
what
there.
Tony should be
Barnett,
doing?
Yeah, I
You've
didn't know
just got to
Tony
try
was
and
football, so
satisfy
I
people
felt-
as best as you possibly can. It's
and
the
then
same with
Danielson's
WWE. I mean, there's
wrestling.
no
That'd
I
be
will
interesting.
criticize. My favorite segment.
You
might
can
be
kind of
Alex
call that a
that he
powerbomb
hates.
more like you just
So
placed it on.
I think this
And
is
a
why
powerbomb in it.
WWE have a
Interesting if they go the
consensus,
route
like
to
say
where all
LA
of these
Knight is
cheer
getting
a lot.
big.
Yeah,
You
so
listen to that.
cook
Some
it
people
down.
think we
Yeah.
should. The product, then I think
Where,
I can understand why you
where
would,
are
why you would get
involved in
behind them.
that? Where do you get with that? So that's I guess we're so involved with that.
Difficult for some of that talent that
Absolutely.
needs
I-
investing, and this is
I
maybe
mean,
where the
if you
structure's
want
not
to
quite
reach
right,
it,
you know. Because to be
Edge is showing
honest,
up,
if you
right?
had
Mentioning
a lot
Edge
of those
every
people that,
if you have your shows,
if they've come from WWE, they've
Toe
reached
pick
their
on
status.
Cowboy.
Chances
Honestly,
are, if you've got to Raw or
Yeah, no,
SmackDown,
I still doubt
reached
that
a
Edge
certain
shows up
level,
in specials.
right? And I think there's plenty in AEW.
You got it.
Should be like working in their version of anything, but they don't
I've
have
got Heyman, Roland, Swerve right here on the
So
right.
yeah, I think him pushing,
Yeah, I don't know if anyone else's bleacher did it. Mine froze.
him pushing
Well, no,
their
because
already at
every
a
time I
level.
would refresh earlier
Quite
during
a
the
few in
0 hour,
AEW
it
aren't
just
quite
was like,
the-
oh no!
Hangman to the top.
Yeah,
Down.
experience there,
Big
and
close. This is my week of
Favorite movie.
Okay, there's no
Now I know
Malachi.
we've had,
Here is
we've had a Boston and a
Statlander.
It comes around as well.
Swift, but less
Yeah.
hot bone into is it
Let
comes
me know when you get the 2 count. Let's look out on the 2
and
count.
it's you know, you can only work with what it's a good entrance, it's a good presence.
You're fine.
nice sequence.
If he's not the guy, he's definitely a guy.
Right? Damien doesn't want to see Edge in AEW. I don't not
quick
want to
question.
see him there.
Control your narrative still around. I've not heard anything.
Not
With
want to see him. I
EC3,
just
and when
don't
Braun
think
Strowman
he's-
went back to
That's what it is.
WWE, they put a statement
Swerve
out
is really
saying
good. He's
that
outstanding.
it wasn't really
Up to the
viable for
top.
them to be
Right.
continuing at this
Guys
time.
out here. Who's
And I
house?
think it's because they were such a
One
big
time.
star in Braun
What's Edge
Strowman.
doing in AEW?
So
It's Edge,
my
it's
understanding
Edge,
is
my
that,
God,
no,
it's
that's
Edge.
not a
Listen,
thing
Edge
that's
could come out
around
and
anymore.
help Darby win. He is a local boy.
Or it's on hiatus at least.
So that is accurate. He is from. He's from
Statlander
Washington.
goes
He's
to
from
the
Seattle.
outside, grabs Julia Hart, throws her into the
Fair
ring.
enough.
Right? That's,
Get
they
coming
all
in there
train
by
together.
Statlander. Julia Hart comes off
McWade.
the
Yeah,
ropes
him,
down,
McWade, yeah,
goes.
one there.
Statlander comes off the ropes down,
Daniel
goes
Silver,
Julia Hart.
Aberdeen, Washington.
Statlander off
There
the
you
ropes
go.
again,
Oh,
the shoulder tackle,
remember
and
that.
Julia Hart goes down, going for the
I hate
pin.
this move. It looks so.
shoulder.
It's so assisting.
Statlander grabbing
Yeah, the Del
Julia
Rio's
Hart.
fine.
Julia Hart trying to grab a
Love it.
hold of the.
It's so assisted because why would you do? Unless you're going to do that, you have the guy look like he's fighting fucking.
Yeah.
What they say?
Ramble. Yeah.
Yeah.
on the leg and
Hold with
you're
one
not
hand.
kidding.
The other switch.
Oh, right. Yeah. Seriously,
The tantrum in a Walmart.
dude.
grab
It's really
hold
got a
of
hand in
the
quick
leg,
succession.
not
It
letting
looks
go.
like he's got to get draped over and he's wiping. He's pulling himself back up.
Mhm.
Statlander picks her up,
Edge
got her on
just
the
signed for the money.
shoulders,
I don't think that's
chair,
true because
spins
the
around,
WWE offered him
powerbomb,
an advantage.
Julia
Make it that much of a
Hart
difference
charging
to Edge
over.
just put it back. I got to go to AEW. They're offering me $4 million. Like really, 5 maybe.
We
Like,
realize these people live in tax brackets that
Right.
most of us will probably never fucking see.
Julia Hart
So to
rolls
sit
out
there
the
and say
ring.
someone went there for the
Watching
money,
Collision, guys like
yeah,
Malachi,
how
Buddy
can you
aren't
even
being
say that?
used
Like,
because they give
what
Tony the impression they're
money
just
does he
waiting out
need?
their
So
contract.
he's signing, going from a rookie deal
Corbin
to a
said the
fucking.
worst thing you can do is put someone with no experience on TV. The second worst thing you can do is give them no mercy. Did you think Ilya should defend the title? I think like a 7.5. I thought Ilya against Carmelo was excellent.
This isn't from
But
Washington, JJ, so why would he help
Statlander,
Darby? Because
hits
he's
the
against
edge of the ring.
Christian.
He's against Christian.
Put 2 and 2 together, you might get 4
Statlander
instead of
into
22.
the
Edge
barricades.
shows up and is like the voice of reason to Christian.
Yeah, I thought it was a
What's going
brilliant
on, man? We used to be
match. I
cool,
thought the main
and now
event
you're
was a bit
dick. What
quirky, but
happened?
it was
Oh,
alright.
on
It
the
was fine.
steps.
Gave the
Match
show
of the
about
night so far. Well, it hasn't been a high bar so far.
Who
Yeah.
should his first feud
I
be
will say
against?
this is a good case for
Well,
this match.
I'd imagine his next
bit
match
slow
would
at the beginning, but
be
it
the
picked up in a
rematch
mean
with
way and it's been
Carmelo.
good.
Edge has done
After
everything.
that, I mean, I don't
He's
know
not something
if
different
he
now.
will be.
Yeah.
defending against
He would go to
Ilya
AEW.
Corbin No,
Sorry,
against
no, go
Corbin.
ahead.
I think Corbin.
Gordon Ramsay trying to
Is going to be in with Von Wagner.
Yeah, for fuck's sake.
Aaron is free now. So
I'd like a big,
good, big, fairly credible. Like, you can see
MJF,
them putting the title on.
Yes. 100%. No,
You can see this paper
you're not getting a heavy workload.
putting on a
And
stretch.
would you rather do those matches at a Rumble, at a
Elbow
at
coming
Mania,
into
or you
the
wanna
side of the body.
Or all out, or an all in. I don't know.
Pulling at
Ed-
the mouth
Name for that.
of Statlander. A few chops.
I saw pop up.
Power slam
Name's
corner.
Ellis.
John said, I want Julia.
Mile radius.
Julia
As we're really
Hart.
getting Hangman. That looks like he fucked his forearm off.
Pull that 1, 2.
As
Shoulder
even like last
by
night with
Julia
NXT,
Hart.
Becky had to get 11 stitches.
Something about
Yeah,
this
I
match
know
is
she's
to
got
honor
other bra- I saw the
Inoki.
actual visual.
What are you on about?
Looked like a small
It was a massive Julia Hart.
It looked like she
Oh, no,
popped her
no, 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 oh my
on the
God.
forearm.
That looks fucking.
His last words were, I
Oh, stop. He's
wish I could have seen Chris
And it
Statlander against
now.
Julia Hart just once. That was it. His final words.
But you're proving that you
Maybe
can transfer
having
big
went to get like picked up, planted down.
While he was talking to the doctors, he
kick
got
out.
the shit stomped out of his chest.
Right.
Statlander coming over, grabbing Julia Houghton. Oh, man, that's a great suplex.
I saw them
Picking up Julia Hart, delivering a suplex. Statlander dragging Julia Hart over to the corner.
Would
Julia
you risk
Hart
it for a
is
biscuit if you're
down.
Edge? When you've already had all of your issues and everything like that.
Statlander's having to work to
In a
shop
match
here, isn't
like on AEW, to where like we've said, we've
Shot
seen
coming in by
Moxley get
Julia
concussed
Hart. Another shot by Julia
multiple
Hart.
times allegedly throughout that match. We've seen people break legs, break arms, pop shoulders.
This is
if you're
go-to
somebody that
move.
issue going in, is that something you want to gamble with?
She's throwing in some
To sit there and, because you want to
slaps.
hang out with your buddy Christian?
That's
Huh?
right. That's a valid point.
throw.
We got a two on the roll up.
That's why I keep going back to him. If I want to spend time with him,
Oh my God.
Yeah. Ready to
I'm back in the yard. We're gonna
Statlander down.
tap
Julia
or
Hart
snap
climb-
The crowd's hogging.
looking for the
It's
move.
so
So
weird, right?
connecting
We
it.
see Jericho get
One,
booed in London
Two,
over
put on the
Will.
rope by
He gets
Statlander.
getting cheered here. It's so funny.
Oh my God!
Like, let's love
Such
each
a
other.
weird track
There's
record.
not.
now.
I
We've
think
got
did he
Take
say? He
22
said there's not.
backstage with Keith Lee and they all look tonight. We're
Statlander rolls up for Julia.
So
A shot.
that's
Is it
what I
down
mean.
or
We
not?
saw that where we were visibly
Statlander, middle
seeing
of the ring.
Moxley the
Shoulders.
call it, and then just had to get
Got
it.
rid of
This is
two,
going to work.
stuck it
Rolls with a
off
coupe
the
de
mat,
grace,
and,
but rolls.
I'm shocked.
Lovely.
This match is great.
Chris
I'm
is
giving them
absolutely
full
carrying
marks for
out
this
through
match.
this. It's hard to watch.
Head versus
DJ
Sting.
Poison said,
Sounds like
please
Clay
with Julia.
Wade.
Kind of boring. Serious game is
Don't worry, guys. Only 10 more matches.
Oh wait, no. Usually when you chuck the manager, the crowd cheers. Now they're gonna boo.
They still, but that's again, I keep saying it. They don't have actual agents that fucking. These matches or help
As I
them
said,
and tell them
I
this
would
is
much
the structure.
rather
You
was
do
like
this and
mile
actually
off the map than
fucking
what
filter
we were
out.
seeing.
It's the baby
So
acting
I've
like
got
it's
a
the
lot of
heel
credit,
manager.
give it a lot of
You know,
credit.
like Hank
That
is
was
the big
the
baddie,
toughest
shut
test
him off.
that Statlander
Hey, Nick from-
Say, Sonny, shout out to you. Do you guys
Are we
remember
on
when
match
we did the story
4
about Mr. Ortington? I'm
Vitamins,
thinking of making that
vitamins,
into a
and
short.
how many more matches?
Rex,
we
Young
are
Bucks,
on
the gut
the
match
whole
wasn't
card.
bad.
Okay, was an English king of the
That's
ring.
it,
Yes,
Oh.
he
Of
did.
course, just eating some Doritos.
Edge has done it all and has won
This
the title
shows how
whenever
great
Rumble,
Statlander
whenever
is. Her
elimination
ring
Two,
position
three,
is
over.
closer to the ropes to hook her leg onto it.
Oh,
Right, isn't it?
But yeah, big win.
I was blown away by the Eddie
No,
Kingston.
no.
The Eddie Kingston match was just there. I mean, so far
What do you
this
think
is a
about this,
pretty
though? That was a
poor
classic
pay-per-view
match.
for
Really
me.
good.
Okay, man.
The matches that
Arguably one
I
of the best
was
matches
not
of the
that
show.
excited about
Main
going
event.
into it anyway. The matches which
Oh.
I thought wouldn't appeal
Yeah.
to me are the matches that
You're
are
not
not
wrong. I
appealing to
mean,
me.
again, classic
So,
might be a little
That
strong
just means
to throw
that the
around. I don't
bulk
know
of the
if
matches
it's
that do appeal to
qualified
me
for match of the
are the
year
ones
yet,
that are coming
but
up
it was
after
good.
this.
It was a really good one.
So as soon as
Yeah.
we get past this match, then
So
we're
it's
getting into the
probably going to
matches
be
that I'm really
arguably best
interested
match
in.
on this card. It's one of the better
And, we
matches
should
for
be on a good little
AEW
run
probably
then,
this year.
so,
It's not match of the year.
Yeah, I'm actually
I
going to
think the
give this
two
match a little
contenders
bit.
so
I'm
far
going
that
to cut
we've
this
seen
some
that
slack
really, I think, are 1A,
because
1B
this
for
match
next year.
is a
Both
match
is
that I
FTR versus Jin and Juice and what we saw
this
last
is a
night
match
with Ilya versus
that
Carmella.
I know what to expect. It's four
No, that was
teams
a
contender
fuck
these
start.
matches.
And if you ask me,
And I
who's
like the
the
games. That's right.
higher
I
guy
like
on
the
the totem
guns.
pole, watching that match, I would say Swerve Strickland's that guy.
So,
Adam Page didn't
I'm
look
going to
it.
cut
Like,
it.
he did well.
You know what
but
this is going to be.
Swerve's better.
I know what this is going to be.
Absolutely. And we got fucking Sean
Kemp.
Kemp. That's what I was like. That's the big ass Sean Kemp.
Okay, here's
Instantly
Lucha
think of
Bros.
NBA Jam. 100%. Sean Kemp was my guy.
Sean Kemp looks like he ate Sean Kemp.
Lucha Bros. Versus Guns versus OC
Here's the shoes.
and
Yes.
From downtown. So now we're getting Starks versus Origin, a Rampage, and Dynamite.
Okay, now we got 100
So
people.
100%.
Yeah. We haven't fucking talked.
Might not got
Right,
that
like I
one.
mean, and it's no offense to
Might
Ricky,
not
it's
got
no
that
offense to you
one. I
behind
wanted
it,
to
but
lose
it's not
these
really.
titles and then get really
Little
switching
match
game
was
and
good
trying to
Dynamite.
perhaps I said right just because I hope we
goes
lose
and then you
100%.
keep that pace going. You don't do
Could
this
be wrong
all
on this one. There's 4
Yeah,
options to
100%.
choose
We're a
from.
roller coaster.
And I'm going with
Joe Black
Lucha
says, great
Bros.
match.
Yeah.
So there we go. That's my reason being the winner of this is a title shot.
It doesn't give him a huge push. I don't know what does. I'll give you that on
We've
on
not
that
seen
aspect.
FTR
That was
against
probably
OC
your
and
best swerve
Hook.
match.
That could be a cut.
The Kenny match, maybe one of your better, if not your best.
That
Any
could
match?
be a curveball.
Yeah.
Because we know that Tony
Yeah.
likes Orange Cassidy.
Close, but I wouldn't say it.
You know what?
I don't know that we've seen FTR against the Lucha Bros.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good
One
match.
game,
It really
Lucha
was. I'm
Bros.
not taking anything away from it.
Hawkins,
I
let's
think
go.
Sit down at the end of the year to figure out
Legend
match
Killer
of the year.
says Hook.
I
Did
don't know.
Moxley
I'm
get
going
on
Lucha
commentary?
Bros.
Is
They
it funny
said
that
they'll give them a
Moxley
super kick
disappeared
counter, but
like
it would
I'm
break.
more upset
Did you
at
see
the
The Rock's daughter tweet
And I'll
saying
stick you on commentary. I got
NXT?
brutal research.
Although she is in a story
And
at
here
the
comes
moment
Ricky,
where
one of the
she
best
is
entrances in AEW.
splitting up
Like, hold
with
on, John Moxley gets a fucking
Gacy. You know,
Just sit
so
there
I think that's
and
probably just storage into that. I
Jim
think that's
Ross right
probably
now
more
is stuck
that
between
her
Excalibur
story
and
is that
John
Schism
Moxley on commentary, and probably just wants
and
to
that
fucking
Gacy
eat his
says they
cowboy
should
hat.
go their own
I read
separate
this
ways.
as
So
Adam
I
Page
think
resigned.
it seems like her
Yeah.
character is maybe
Yeah.
contemplating leaving.
There's some people who probably wish he resigned.
Sean Kemp has 40 children.
I believe it.
It's true.
Fuck, that's a fake.
Oh,
Yeah, he has a lot of kids.
fair enough.
Now the thing,
Big belts,
dude,
but I don't know what belts they are.
well, that had a bit of a funny ending, a little tomfoolery. So it feels like there might be an answer.
Ring of Honor.
Are we going to get
Six.
another one and then another one?
Six-man
Now we gotta get
Ring of Honor
match.
champions.
I just see a situation match. Yeah, Dynamite.
Maybe I did.
Page on a
I don't
collision.
feel like I did.
As we got Yuta for the winner.
Live
more Sammy.
on Wednesday, Ray Phoenix against
Respect.
Factory said
Starts for the
Lucha
win,
Bros.
starts for
They
the win,
deserve
starts for the
the
win.
push.
People so quick to call everything
I can't wait
positive.
until Hook can get
I love
out
it.
of AEW, said Vegeta. Poor
Yuka
Gacy,
better
he
be a
had two
face
different
after
groups
this.
and they left him, said Serious Gaming.
Starts.
Yeah, I like Gacy. I think there's something there.
Swerve
I
win,
know he
yes,
doesn't
Swerve
have like a
won.
fantastic
Moxley
position.
deserves it. He's carried
I
it
don't know
on
if that
different
bothers
occasions. So
people.
then don't take a
It's
fucking
not something
vacation.
that really bothers me.
Sabbatical.
But
Yeah, I'm sure Renee
I think
Moxley
that's,
would
that's
love to
you
go
know, we
on
spoke
that.
a lot about that John Mysterious side, which is so hard for people to stand out in because there's
you know
so
what,
much that's
again,
been done in that kind of dark mysterious world. I feel like there's still a lot
And
to
again,
be
it just
done.
allows us to refresh.
But
And
Bray
then when he
was just
returns, you get
killing
a
it.
big
I mean,
toss.
it
I
was
was watching
cool.
one of
So
those
if you do a cool
WWE's
thing, it
with
makes
the
people think of
Richard
Bray.
Reigns, Triple H gone 3 months.
Mr.
John Cena's
Rogers
gone.
like for now.
When
So if you
people
did
get
anything
hurt
there,
or
makes people people
step
think of
away
Bray,
and
the
then they return.
alter ego
It
with the
reinvigorates them in
Fiend.
a lot
I
of
know
cases.
that like those other
Absolutely,
egos,
the match on the
lots of
pay-per-view last
things.
time.
It was
A mini
it's
boss
very
as well.
hard
I
to
forgot
kind of
I got
operate
full
in
bar.
that spot,
The beer fridge
and
there.
to come up with something truly
Beer
original.
Red Bull fridge.
But that's
Yeah, I'm
what
out here
Gacy
like 8
needs.
balls
He
for the
needs
buck.
to be in that dark, mysterious realm. And
Nick,
to come
drop
up
them
with
both,
something truly original. Something
Thinking
Don't worry,
that
Tony Khan will
he
fucking
can really
hardwork
put
fucking
his
ain't eater
all
sniffing up.
into.
So.
And I never thought it was Schism. I never
you to
thought
get
that
dropped
was
on
going
that
to
top
be
rope. I'm going to close the predictions.
the
I'm a
way
little late
forward.
on this one,
The
guys.
name immediately
Sometimes
is
the action gets
just,
the best
do
of
you know what I mean?
But if you haven't made a prediction yet between this match and you want to win that
It's
belt,
just not a
get
good one,
it
it's
in.
Schism. I don't even want to know.
Mhm.
I dare Google it.
If Stark loses, I'll eat a
It's,
plate of
it's
nachos. If he
something
wins, I
that's,
will too, though.
I think
Right.
is I'm going to take it as a positive
Right.
that we can now
I
do
used to do
something
that.
else
I
with
still
him.
do, but I used to.
The one thing that I don't like is
Yes,
him
I
breaking
love
apart
it.
from Ava, because I
We'll
really
find out what
want
my
them
dream
together.
is.
I think they've got a good relationship.
An
I like
escalator
them. I
can
think
never
that,
break. It can only
she
become
might struggle
scary.
alone.
Sorry for convenience.
But that's the Rock's daughter, and they're certainly
Did
not
Brian
going to allow
Cage show
her to
up on the
drown.
show?
So,
Yeah, just got here.
I don't think we have to worry too much about what they're going to do with it, because they're going to put everything they can behind
Yeah,
her.
he enjoyed an entrance and an exit. He
Guns
was
in control at the moment. They were chucking Penner around. They've tagged
He Ed
themselves in.
Simpson. Ed Simpson.
So this match is underway, and we've got Orange Cassidy going against the Rock. So I think that Austin there as Cassidy.
I win.
His feet gets pushed
for a
back in. Tag being
That I can
made.
do with that I don't. Moving on. Okay.
King of
Whatever
Kings.
happened? Does anyone know what happened? Like,
Yeah,
Orange Cassidy.
had a lot of big swerves.
Think that should be a finishing
Great
move.
match.
Oh, who was going to get a
And
bigger
then
pop tonight?
he hit
Darby
him with
or
like a swinging
Danielson?
neck breaker, spun
Japan-
Orange Cassidy
no,
around,
you know what's
and he
gonna
went
happen?
into a
We're going to get
backbreaker.
final
It's a
countdown
lucky
in fucking
move, man.
Washington.
Yeah.
And
If you,
that's going
if
to
you
blow
just
the
did a
fucking
normal
roof off.
match
That's why I
and
thought
then
that
hit
was
that
going
as
to
your
be the main
finisher,
event.
it is,
I was
but
convinced it was going to be the
it's,
main event.
that was
It felt
amazing.
like built it like that was the marquee. You know how the UFC always picks out their main events, right? Like
The
Just
main
moving
event announced, and then you fill the card out
amazing.
underneath.
yeah, that's kind of what the Danielson
Just
David
First,
felt like.
swinging
So,
neck breaker,
Yeah.
spun him round
last couple
into a
days, he was
backbreaker,
the
all
Edge
within like
Tony
less
kind of
than
going, well, they're
flipping
whispering. Well, we put this
half
in
a
the
second.
If he doesn't.
That's the thing, though, is
Looks it.
well, I will give him credit on that because that's not a bad
Tag
shot.
Hook comes in.
He relies so
Mitchell's
much on
end,
whichever way
Dante.
you go. It's like, well, you're the boss.
Yeah,
This is
no,
what
no,
your
because,
fucking vision is, right? So
looking at these
fucking go
teams,
with it.
these are the teams that are trying to be that
Well,
A botcha match now.
duplexes is probably maddening it.
this point of the show, you're heading into your last
Is
two
there
matches.
any chance we
You wanna
see
build
Sexton
the momentum. You
Hardcastle
wanna be
tonight?
building with
Said
Tug of Love,
Dominic.
right? Like a diesel engine warming up.
I,
Instead of, again, you hit neutral.
don't
Yeah.
so.
And the crowd goes quiet.
I don't
Everybody
think
goes
so,
to
but I've
breakfast.
said that
Goes to the
all
snack
along.
bar or breakfast.
I'm dying
and
on
everything
that
was
hill.
low.
Depends on your time zone.
Oh, here comes Big
In
Bill.
our poll,
I was going to say, depends on your time zone and your work schedule.
Right? Look at his
I don't
shirt.
know, I kind of almost like that shirt. This man's
people
got the
voted,
hip.
and 34%
Oh, and a little,
are
you gotta have like a
expecting
little handle it too.
the community is expecting
No,
will
what
Edge
that
appear
never
on
goes. I
AEW
love it when a
tonight.
plan comes together.
Community saying
But no, as soon as you were
66%.
saying like Chugga-Logan, I was just like, come on, drop it.
we'll find out. Big Time said you're a WWE wrestler, commentator, or backstage executive. How important is it to keep up with AEW when a Jade comes in? Should you know
Wow.
your homework?
Pause.
Normally, the Canadian superpowers here when it comes to stream. So no, you can have it and still
when Jade comes
behind
in,
you.
She
You're
is
too
kind of
polite.
starting again,
Saw
isn't she?
him like AW have a
Certainly if you wanted
RVD.
to be very,
Come back when you can spell.
you know, ain't
Oh, correct
anything
might
that happened
help
over
you.
there. So
Oh,
I
here
sort of
it is.
feel like she starts again, really.
Yeah,
She starts again. She starts a new story when she comes
Oh,
over.
interesting.
So I don't know. I mean, like it might help
Yeah,
you
no,
if
I've
you
got right now.
if you watch.
Because
If
this
you
kind
was
of
a
halfway. Kind of just
I mean, if
this
you're a
back and forth
commentator,
of like,
I
I'll
would
let you
say,
throw shots
yeah,
on me, you throw shots
definitely,
on me,
because
I'll throw shots on you.
I think that
That's what I've got right
your
before we start.
move leads to this move kind of
Bradley,
thing.
that'll
Or,
be
you know, there'll be some
Elimination
patterns or
Chamber
whatever.
US audience in favor.
I'd imagine if you're a commentator,
well, no,
I would
Bobby,
just
Bradley,
naturally want to watch other
somebody.
wrestling shows to
It's
see
so
how
interesting
I
that
would
you
call
mentioned
it
that because
compared to how
literally at
they
this
are
point,
calling
there
it,
should be a
and to
playlist
see
on
if
the
there's
fucking
any lessons
channel
that I
of
could
the
learn
Bronx
to
with the
get
Boys.
better. You know,
100%.
if I'm Michael
That's
Cole, for
become the
example, I could watch
tradition
an
here. We've been
AEW,
here at
listen to
3
their
a.m. to
commentary,
watch
think about how I would call the action, but listen to how they're
all
calling
the
it.
time. Whenever they
And
do
if I felt like they did some of that was better
whether
than what I
it
was
be
doing,
noon
then
o'clock
you know
out
I'm
here,
learning from that.
and
So
so for us in
I
East
think
Coast would be
that
there
from
at
that
like 6
perspective, from a
a.m.
commentary point of view,
I believe to watch Elimination Chamber.
definitely would look at it.
Yes,
From
we
a
will be
wrestler's point of view,
alive and
because
well
you
at
can't
6 a.m. and
because you
going
can't
to have breakfast with
reference
the
it.
boys.
There's
Yeah, we've had
not
breakfast with the
really
boys.
too much you can
We're
do.
heading towards
It's not really too
another
much.
time
The
of
only
year,
thing
you know,
is,
I
if
mean,
you're really
realistically,
like teacher's
that's
pet,
amazing again, folks.
if you're
That's
really teacher's
100%
pet and you want to kind of
if
talk
that's
to
at 6
her
a.m., that's
about,
100% going to be
I really
late
love,
with the boys.
like during this match you did this. I'd love to like do that more in our match, kind of thing. I'd love to look at this sequence, or I think we could develop this.
Beautiful.
You know what I mean? Like,
Isn't
you
it
could
so
definitely
interesting
do
that we've
that.
gone all the way from
But to
when
be
you had
honest,
that
you've got a
huge match
producer
with
for the match that might have
Moxley
other
and-
ideas
Oh
anyway.
my
So
God, they put this kid
it would
over.
depend on where you
Looks
are
like a
on the
fucking
card. You
mess.
might not
No,
even
just,
get that kind of a say.
He's really
but,
useless, I guess.
not really worth it.
I'm sick of this.
You're going to be facing
Again,
someone that's coming in
listen,
this
I
starting a
I
new chapter.
really
It's going to
am
be
coming out of
a
that
different
swerve
name,
Adam
I
Page
think.
match. We were yelling, we were screaming, we were
Or even if
high-fiving.
she's
Go,
not, just getting
Shimbo!
better. You can't reference anything from AEW.
1, 2,
So yeah,
3.
I wouldn't worry about it if I was a wrestler. I think if I'm a commentator, I'm definitely
As he just looks dead into
watching
the
other
heart.
shows just to improve. If you're a wrestler, you're probably
All
going to
right,
watch other
this is
shows
done.
just to see like how they put matches together.
And you can tell that Kevin Dunn doesn't work for this fucking production team here because there has
But that's
been
not
all
probably
sorts
going
of
to help
botches
you
and
with
terrible
a match with Jade. Jade from like 2 years ago is obviously going to be a different person. Isn't she? So
I got
Vegas Queen, he's 5-0.
but if I was a wrestler,
I
then
would
absolutely.
Jets defense.
I would be
Well, cool,
watching
AP.
other
Now
shows.
I know who
Because I'd
you
want
are
to see
and your
like
fantasy.
it comes to production as much as possible if you was a
Now I can
wrestler
start putting names
or a
to faces.
commentator, because like you've got just
Are you
endless
going to stream Will
endless
Ospreay for
examples
sexy?
of
Did you
what
work
works
with
and like understanding like how
We can see if we
MJF
can work on a
structures his
schedule.
promos.
We'll let you
Like,
know, my guy.
how many
October
kill shot
14th. I don't
lines
know.
he
We have
puts
to
in, where
we
he
got lots
puts
coming up,
them,
lots planned, and
how he interacts with the crowd. He's regarded as like one of the best promos right now. You can learn a lot by watching his
I was gonna
promos.
say, we
Imagine if
cover
you
more
was
than
a wrestler
everybody
and you
else.
weren't watching MJF's promos.
Still, we gotta pick and choose our spots.
Imagine if you was a wrestler and you
Ooh,
wasn't
up
watching.
next.
This is coming up
Wilson's
next.
matches.
So Jericho and Kenny and all that gets to go on after this one.
You're fucking kidding
So
me.
certainly a
You're
lot that can be learned
kidding
by
me.
watching what other
The
successful
fucking poster
other
for the
people
fucking
that's
pay-per-view for the fucking longest time.
on the
If they're treating
successful
this
what
like
they're
a
getting
fucking
wrong.
TV
what you
taping.
change about
They're
their
treating this like they're airing this on
performances.
TV
You
and
could learn
going
a
into
lot,
the top of the hour
but I don't
because now
think
we've
that
got
helps
the
you
videos of
specifically
all
with a
the
match with
fucking
Jade.
of Danielson's
But I
kids and how
definitely
he's
you should
finding
be
it down
watching
in this
the
last year and everything like that.
Orange
You're
Cassidy
fucking
makes
kidding me
the
that this
save.
is going in at the top of the hour.
WWE
Is this,
putting
we
a
know
big
that the
spotlight
audience is
on Jade
fading, so
Nova.
let's give them something.
Is gonna
Well, here's
be
the thing.
great.
From that last match with Strickland and Page
Splash.
directly into this
These
match
days
was so
away from
close that
signing with AEW.
Yeah, we've got
W
Chris
put
Jericho
an
and the
offer
Golden
in,
versus the
and
Palace.
the ball was in WWE's court
and then
to WWE. WWE.
and who you think is
and
going to
so,
run away with the
Yeah,
W.
I mean, look,
but
Edge is
yeah,
someone
Nick,
that
I'm
was
with you.
out
I'm
injured
surprised
for a
that
long
we're getting
time.
him now.
And I think he got to the realization that he could come back and he
Well,
could
this match
return.
now confirms one this day.
I think he wanted that to be with
Because we already knew
WWE.
Christian
But
Darby's
Edge is Bucks have picked up the win there.
That was in the last fair show. They
So
kept
I think he
throwing it out
wanted
there.
that to be with WWE, and you know, why not? Why not get AEW to put an offer in? Why not say to Vince, well, I've got an offer from AEW here that's for this amount. Like,
Okay.
can
We'll
you
start
match that? Can you bet that?
wins. Not a great match, but good
Which
starts.
they did.
Absolutely a
And so
good
he got
TV
himself an
match.
even
As like I
juicier
said, we're treating this
So-
like it's a TV fucking taping because we're going to the top of the hour with Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr.
But
Tony literally
I
only
would
knows
say
how to book
that
like a
Edge had a
TV.
decision to
I'm
make
like,
there.
well, he's in going
Do I go to AEW? Do I go to WWE? He chose
So
WWE.
Cage is going to go and
Now,
do it.
the third option here,
Zack
as well
Sabre
as keep
Jr.,
saying, and that
the
is
New Japan
retirement.
TV
Edge could
champion.
choose between AEW,
TV trade,
but
golden TV trade.
how seriously he
so,
considered that, and how
From
much that was
Aberdeen,
used
Washington, we've
to
got Daniel
convince
Bryan, Bryan
WWE
Danielson.
to bring him back, because WWE may have thought, let's not take the risk with Edge. We'll use him for a role, but let's not sign him to a deal because, like,
I do
we
like
don't
this.
know if his
This
neck's
is
going
such
to
a
give
weird
out, and we
match.
don't know if he's, you know, going to be able to wrestle. So Edge used a clever point.
The UK style of wrestling.
Right, Swerve again.
The super
uh,
technical
Hangman.
wrestling. But that's what this is going to be, but it also
it isn't
doesn't
about
matter
money.
at
He wants
all
to end
who
his
wins
career on
this
his
match.
terms, having matches
If
against
Zach
new
wins
people
this
in a
match,
company that only
Ooh,
asks
it
him to
doesn't
work one
really
or two
super
times
affect
per week.
Danielson.
Well,
So
I
it's
said
on
all
his
along,
like
if it
retirement
to
year.
come down
It'd be really
to
it's just really cool that
him
we're having this.
really
Doesn't
desperately
matter
wanting to,
who
there's not
it
much
kind
I
of
can say
takes
to
away
that.
a bit of from the
I mean,
match.
that's
It
the
doesn't
only
feel
reason I
as
think he
bad
goes to
as-
AEW.
outside of just it's a
If Edge
really
goes to
cool match.
AEW, it's because before he calls it
I know that this is
to wrestle
been talked about
and he
and been
has to wrestle
speculated about. So
MJF, right? And if that's the reason as to why he goes, and that's what he cuts his promo with, because he will be a boost to their numbers. So my job is to say, well, to do that, right?
Claudio, the
Because
only one who did come out
that's
to his
gonna
own
be
music.
too much of a
Yeah.
boost to them.
Ooh, good
So
Claudio.
here's what I can give you. I can give you a title run.
I'm surprised we didn't
With the world
final
title.
countdown here.
I
For
can sit
Danielson.
down and we can get a list together of names in
Tony
WWE
was
that
tired
you'd
of
like to face.
Pamphlet.
And we can make that work.
If
So,
they would have
we
gotten
can even
the final
look at, like,
countdown
if we
with
have to,
this, and
bringing
this would have
in
been
some
amazing.
people from
I
outside,
think
not
if this would have
AEW.
followed,
But if there was, like,
Darby
someone
Christian,
from
I think
flipping
you would have had
Impact
enough
that I had to
people
go and get, if you want
I
to
get
wrestle
that everybody's
Josh
like, well,
Alexander or something.
No, I think it's
you know, whatever
have
I
the
gotta do
match,
to get
like,
you
that's
to
during
the
the press conference, actually. can really
Because
get-
if I'm WWE, I really don't want to go into AEW. I really don't want him to start.
interesting.
Is
Why
that
is so again? Is Moxley
if
just
it's
showing up
because he has to wrestle Kenny Omega before he retires, and that's something that he has to do. There's not much WWE can do about that.
Plumber Moxley here. But absolutely, as we're still we're
Hangman
gonna build
against
some time in here
Swerve.
with this match. So we've still got wrestlocks and
Why
Joint
is Swerve
manipulation.
Hangman now? The
American
fifth match
Dragon
of
versus Zack Sabre Jr. Yeah, it's a
Where
good
else do you put
technical
it?
match. It's a good match if you are a smart market. If you are a diehard wrestling fan. You're a wrestling nerd. I would fully admit I am. This is a dream match. This is
Okay, here's
fantastic
Swerve
match.
making
If
his
you're a
way
casual wrestling fan, you don't give a shit about this.
But
You might
I think
watch
they're just
it
trying to get a
because
final
you
big
know
payday
Danielson's in
before
it
he
and everything.
retires.
Are you
I
paying
don't know, man.
$50 for it?
I don't
When you
know.
can
I
just
don't
watch
know.
the
I genuinely don't know.
Peacock for,
I mean, the
$5.99
video,
a
he
month.
was trying to
Maybe
decide
not.
whether he could top what happened in Toronto.
Yeah,
So my reading
this
of
is very
that
much a
video,
match for
which could prove to be
the
incorrect,
wrestling
you know,
fan
going
base
by what I
which
see.
is
And
AEW's
what I saw was him saying that what Toronto was really special, and he has to figure out
as with
if he can
Daniel,
top can beat that.
and yeah, a little
And
bit more
he's got a
smaller,
contract
little bit
extension.
smaller, a little bit smaller.
But you know, now he's got the chance to sign this extension, we know there's going to be that offer that's been put in by AEW. Of course there is. Of course there is. But smaller brands, this is a smaller promotion. This is WWE.
Looks like
them.
Zack Saber's got a bit of a knee on. Looks like he's halfway
Tony
set
would
for
pay him more than
Danielson's
WWE.
pushing against this knee again.
I mean,
This
Tony
is
could put in a
interesting because
ludicrous
if
offer
they built this
just
pay-per-view,
to see if
it was gonna be
WWE
like a
would
shoot
match
match.
Tony could be
pay-per-view.
messy. This is a smaller company. This is their main show gets 800 and some thousand
Fair enough.
compared to Raw that does 1.75.
Oh no, I'm good. It's back on. It's a little glitchy on me.
He ain't going there to boost his brand.
Our fellow Canadians are watching and having the same issues I'm having.
The only thing
Fair
is,
enough,
if you just the wrestle, can you maybe? And that's it.
But we got the reverse like crab walk there, but
But that would be such a shame. That would be a real shame. I think, WWE have built him up, but made him like the name that he is, and he has repaid them, of course, by being. But for him to then use that star power to take it to WWE, to now go just so he can have a Kenny Omega or whatever, like that would be disappointing. I'd be disappointed in him. As a WWE fan, I'd be disappointed. As a wrestling fan, you know, then you can open it up to like, well, I'm interested to see him against Kenny Omega. That's definitely a match I'd be down for seeing. I'm interested in seeing him taking on Ricky
I got it right now, grabbing it.
Against Christian with a face edge and a heel Christian. You know, I'd be definitely seeing these matches. This one, because I'd be interested in seeing those matches. He would be
I feel like Excalibur with all these moves. Because they are.
Big boot there by.
I don't have the stock, please. As Danielson goes through,
Okay,
and
so
now,
Hangman in the
he's
ring,
going
we
to set
are
up his own Mexican
underway with our next match. We are an hour and 15 minutes into the show. Drop coming in there by
Okay, so I got two
Edge's
stalemates.
wife still with the Becky story wanting to face, and however we can, you know, getting matches that interest him and working with people that interest him.
We're rolling along.
Beth has been involved as well. I mean, WWE.
45 minutes. You think this match
Yeah,
is
now I've got, sorry, so now I've got Zack Saber kind of grabbing out his like claw.
okay, so let me know.
It's a boost for Hangman.
Okay.
There's a sign
Both
that
men eyeing
says
each other up.
Seattle. There's that Swerve. Hangman in the middle of the ring. Swerve takes
Well, no,
over.
I was halfway trying to think of the spot
Swerve to the
fully
outside.
formulate. So
Good
yeah,
lovely
I've
drop
got
kick.
both men
Do that
walking up. I've got
Crowds are behind Swerve here. They're making
Zack
some
Saber too. I've
noise
got it.
together. This
Left
should
arm,
be the
remember,
best match
right
on the
arm.
card so far. Back elbow there by Swerve.
But how interesting though was it that we get
Swerve, on that middle rope.
officially this match long. We're gonna get on
Elbow
that.
to the back of the head there of
You're number
Hangman.
one official. What can we do?
Swerve doing,
she's
little dance.
number one something.
Just playing to the crowd.
Public enemy number one.
Swerve go. Break it
How do you
back.
fucking heel back? This is where we're
Trying to
gonna
get
do.
back up to his feet.
Oh, the stop on the.
Thanks.
But
Back
that's
up,
the stuff that
he's
you
got Swerve
praise
all the way.
Oh, that actually pulls, so it's like,
Rick said,
Yeah,
"Well,
yeah,
I'm the wrestler
heebie-jeebies.
King Soul, and
Because you
I
can
would
feel it.
watch
Everyone, like,
his
not everybody knows
Iron
what a
Man
body
of
slam
AEW.
is, especially when guys
Tim
move
said
south.
Hangman should never have won that AEW World title. He is only
Oh, exactly.
TNT
Everybody
champion
stubbed their fucking
material,
toe. Everybody's
or
got
at
fucking
best,
paper cut when
attention,
they should have.
not
Everybody's
worth.
bent their finger back
He's
when they should have.
tainted
You
the
know
championship.
that hurt. You're like, well,
Lariat.
fuck.
On the outside
I think
goes
about
Swerve.
30 minutes, based on how much match,
Yeah,
how much card we have left.
um,
I think it's going to be about 30 minutes.
I'm not a massive Hangman fan.
You
at all,
think 30 minutes
but
with a 2 out of 3 falls
I
match still
think
left
that if
with 3
Swerve
other
was to get
matches?
the win here, this would be a big
Yeah,
win for
I mean,
him
shit.
in AEW.
No, that's another hour.
Hangman jumping up.
We got a loss.
Strap on and strap
Hangman,
in.
for whether you like
I
him or you
stopped
don't like
ordering
him,
from
he's
Beaker,
definitely one of
VR
the
last 2
recognizable
times. It has
faces
lagged
in
so
the
bad I can't
promotion. This
watch.
would be a big
The
victory.
audio was like 2 moves off. Super
Hangman
annoying.
with a
Yeah,
big
listen, it's been frustrating.
Moonsaults.
I have
Lands
been switching
on
to
top
alternative,
of Swerve,
but
throwing Swerve
yeah, I mean,
into
again,
the
I don't
ring.
know if it's
Hangman
everybody,
getting
but
into
yeah,
the
mine
ring.
works.
Swerve on his feet.
Well, that's why we're the
Picks up
ultimate
Swerve.
combo for me.
Sit down, powerbomb.
You not only
One,
need what you should get in your
Shoulder
life,
up.
Right.
but also at the same time,
Shoulder up
higher
by
carries.
Swerve. Swerve goes
To me,
outside
outside
the
of
ring.
pirating and going Captain Jack Sparrow, there is no other alternative. So
Is
it's fucking probably a lot easier, I would assume,
Yeah.
than this. Oh, $50 a fucking pop.
Oh, even that. No, okay, so that is one issue.
Okay, we have got Hangman down. We've got
Sucks.
Swerve on the outsides. Hangman looking to go against the ropes.
Yeah, the whole 0 hour was behind YouTube.
Yeah.
Suicide dive
Mark
lands
just said he
into
already had been
Swerve
fine for
goes
his language on
onto
zero
the
hour.
entrance ramp. Dude dressed as Orange Cassidy
I
in the
don't
front
care.
row, giving him
No,
down.
Because he knows he's in trouble.
It's a dude in the front row dressed as
You remember
Darby
that
Allin as well.
Bree said she would come back and have big matches. And, oh, okay.
Swerve goes
No.
into the ring.
No, just no. Just
You know,
stop that.
Tony's all over that.
You 100% was right. Right there, you
Is Swerve's hand against the
Yeah,
ring
no.
steps.
The next snap.
all of the sudden.
I got that one. Mox just said, got
Back
that
in
one.
the ring goes Swerve.
Where's Mike today when you need him?
Yeah.
Hangman being quite slow,
Joint
methodical, trying to
manipulation.
climb up. Loud crowd are making some noise here, you know.
Right.
Match
Now,
hasn't
that's the type of
quite
technical
burst
match
into
you can
life
get
yet.
into.
Yeah, exactly.
He
15
comes crashing
stars.
down on Swerve. Goes for the
15
cover.
stars.
1, 2, kick out.
Would have been
Oh, we're getting the yes kicks.
2, but it was only just a
That's
2.
it. The 3 1
12.
Twins, which are, yeah.
Down
no.
for longer.
We
Swerve
have
have a
that.
few
That's
words with
probably what I'm
himself here.
at.
Yeah, people trying to like act like again. It's
It's interesting dynamic, this, isn't it? Because Swerve's the heel.
You know, again,
Hangman is the face, but the crowd are firmly behind Swerve.
how it goes. Like, you know, so the idea like,
Fucking, you know,
yeah,
fucking burning
Bucket
down,
German
you
there
know,
by
killing it at the Tokyo Dome
Hangman.
shit. They were barely getting by. They were
rolling
top of
him
the
through,
fever
looking
era,
for
which
a
is
brainbuster. No, suplex.
So,
Suplex by Swerve.
if
Swerve
you want to do
exploding
that,
back
you
to
can have that. That
Shoulder
seems like that bitch
shoulder
firmly
up by
made up.
Hangman.
big headbutts by Danielson.
Oh, we're gonna get out.
Okay, both guys
Double
are down at the
under
moment.
hook
Some
superplex.
explosive action coming in there by both.
If I suplex into the bell lock.
How is this compared to Forbidden Door?
Let's go. I've got Swerve.
I mean, we got the main
This
stuff to go, so it's hard to compare, Mark. I would say that I'm slightly enjoying this more than I did
Okay, we've
Forbidden
got
Door.
Hangman in the corner. We've got Swerve back on his feet, charging over, throwing in a chop.
Has there
Swerve
been a
rolls
real
through, middle of the ring. Hangman comes forwards.
from Forbidden Door to all in, all out to this? That you're really like, I really like that. You're like, no,
Backbreaker by
it did a
Swerve.
thing.
Swerve looking to climb
It
up.
definitely did a thing. I don't know what that thing was, but it did a thing.
Swerve
That's their
getting
Tony
up
Khan and
top.
the AEW Superfans trying to convince people that
Hangman gets
the
up,
last 4 or 5
goes over,
pay-per-views have been
grabs the
best
arm
in
of
AEW history.
Swerve.
And I struggle because
This
I feel
pay-per-view is struggling to be the best pay-per-view of this weekend. Fuck alone. The best pay-per-view of the fucking
Hangman
company.
looking to climb up. So we're up top now.
Amen, my
Chop
guy.
coming in there by Hangman.
100%.
Right. What is you talking about?
It was set up.
Man is looking to pick up Swerve in the corner. Shots coming into the midsection. Another strike there by Swerve.
And Dan in smack. Okay, I didn't read that right. Right in the middle of the
Is it like a tree of woe position?
Oh, I didn't even know that. That's interesting. Interesting. That would fit though, because this is the same way who moved this show because of NBA playoffs.
I think this is very much Swerve's house.
We're like, we'll put you in that in because we need to bridge to get to half.
We need to get to here, and that's why I was like, this is interesting on the placement. That's an interesting thing I hadn't thought about. So I'm giving him credit. And that's actually, I give him credit.
Yeah, I do give him credit a little bit, but I'm pretty cool. When we compare companies, which I know people don't love.
Big stuff.
Your show on, no matter what's happening in the world.
Moments after that stop.
Audience who are paying money. You
This,
gotta put the show together
for
the
me,
best.
best
Not
match
because
of the
you
night
might
so
get
far.
some people who are watching NFL instead. Fuck them. You cater to the audience who pays money.
Well, that's what this would say. Fuck you. My show is better than your shit anyway, so they're going to tune in the state of my shit. Versus this, but it's the case though. He could have happily backslid into this and it just worked out perfectly. But that would be interesting. If this was almost, even if this wasn't planned, they'll take credit that it was planned. Comes out as Moss was standing up on commentary.
You know what? That was beautiful. I'm going to say this, guys. I'm loving this match. That was a beautiful set.
Spills to the outside.
Another Kasha.
Over by the ring, steps right now. Swerve with Hangman. Pile driver on the ring, steps no joy. Swerve can't get it.
As
Swerve's
Jackson
hand gets rammed into the ring post. Deadeye on the steps. Bang! Connects.
Like I said earlier in the other clause, if this match and the Barnett Claudio match will work great if this was this type of pay-per-view you were trying to present. I mean, it's just that really technical kind of shit style, that crossover New Japan style pro wrestling. That'll look great, but when it's just dipped in and honey dipped in, it's
Deadeye on the steps, just moments after he tried to do the Deadeye on the edge of the ring.
There's 3 matches. You just need to fight 4-1.
Right? And again, you can have an event, and if you want to run your angle, which again,
So we've got camera right in Hangman's face. Swerve is down. Prince Marner is shooting at him. Back up, you can see Swerve.
it's the right arm,
Trying
the
to
right
get back
wrist.
up to his feet. Hangman comes over.
There's a
Hangman is going to go for the buckshot. He's going to go for the buckshot. Hangman on the outside. Swerve comes over. Big boot there by Hangman. Closing position.
Yeah, exactly.
Shots coming.
You're not supposed to just lay there and let the move happen.
Hangman.
Right?
No.
Oh my God, it's a tie game. We've been
Comes
talking
over
too
and the
much
kick
about the
comes
Chiefs
in.
and the Taylor Swift. And
Yeah, he would end up.
and now he's back to back. Does this count as that?
I mean, what would be good is if Swerve tries that later, and Hangman somehow like flips over, like really. Look, he's got a lot more room there. Bang! Oh,
But he makes
lovely!
it
Another
when you grab
counter
that
there.
guy,
Drop
when you grab
toe
somebody by the
takedown.
throat, smack him, you're like, oh shit.
Oh, now
Yeah,
they're just
it would
booting
be
each other
really
in the
good
face.
if
I was
like
going to say,
Swerve kept
so
doing that,
it's
kept getting
three
closer to the
slaps and a
ropes,
step.
and then Hangman actually manages
Yeah, no, they were
to
going
get
to just
over
boot each other in
really
the
quick
face.
and just straight into it. Like
Yeah.
he
What
doesn't
did they have?
need
Did
any
they get
room
the
to operate.
BCM super drinks?
Just worked out a problem for the buckshot. If he goes for the buckshot and his
Crazy
arm's going to
people.
fail him later, like that's going to be good. The
4
doctor
more
just
matches
coming
after
over.
he's gonna.
Alright, well,
No,
That's a good
you
time
have
to
a half
wrap it
hour
up,
to fit in 3
That was
matches.
a good time to
This
celebrate.
match to be over under 30 minutes.
1, 2, kick
Oh,
Okay,
Who's the splash there? But Swerve got many of it.
remember when they said people were saying that the press conference was scheduled for
Which is a
11?
bit of a
Then we
shame.
didn't tell us you
That
scheduled
is
for
a bit of a
11 West
botch,
Coast time.
and he just like completely missed him. Commentators didn't seem to know if he had actually hit him or not. Swerve went for the cover. He got the 2.
Wings
Gets
of
to the
Saturn,
ropes.
however you want to call it.
This is yeah.
So yeah, I had
Actually,
Chris Nana
even
dancing in the
Nigel Gelling, I
background
love
there.
it.
That was
Well, yeah, he's got a root for,
Um,
you know, his fellow countrymen.
it's a fun little thing, whatever.
Oh,
But
that's
like,
definitely
where he's just done something really good. That stop
Daniel
to the
seems to try
outside.
and go into a bit of a
That
pinfall
moment
here.
was heightened by Prince
Not a
Nana, like
backslide
really
out of it.
celebrating it. Right in the middle of the ring,
We'll kick it.
we
Put on
carry
the
on
ropes,
as we
put on the
said.
ropes, 100%. It's
I
like
think
he's
it
moving
was
himself
a
closer.
450 onto his
Rated R
arm.
like pirate.
Oh.
WWE can't do.
So what? That's a weird thing to go for. Like try and injure his arm if you're then going to go for the pin.
We just get Tony Chimba up there, the rated R superstar.
Lariat just lands
Yeah,
as well
folks, get
by
in this chat.
Hangman.
Give us some flames. Give us some thumbs
Go
up.
for the
How
down
you
for the
feeling
crowd
about
of
this
booing.
match?
Roll up by Swerve.
Oh,
This should have been your main event. bro.
What?
So is he going for like an armbar?
I
Hangman,
think
Well, it would have
turns
if you
over.
would have trimmed
Hangman
off
looking
like
for the
3
pin.
more fucking matches.
Yeah, we will see what
Again,
Darby and
Hangman
Christian
throwing
do.
in
I'm worried
some
by the time Darby and
shots to
Christian
the
get
arm.
the end of their match.
Closing.
Would have been so much better if he'd have just gone for it like actually hit him with a 450 splash, because I don't really get why you would go for the arm if you are going to pin
I feel
him.
like the last handful we talked about this, even the night that Punk won the belt, a big moment
If you
for the
hit the
company.
450 splash, moment there by Swerve. Swerve going up top,
Honestly,
down.
because for fuck's sake, fucking,
Let's
can
see
you,
what he,
if you're gonna
is
have
gonna
a
do
match
here.
that goes like 17
Swerve
hours, at
trying to
least
get the
start at
crowd
the middle
fired up. They're all
after
kinds of
fucking
fired
2
up
hour, 3
anyway.
hour, 1 hour, 0 hour.
Tries for the
like
stop,
5
but
o'clock.
Hangman moves
Yeah,
out of the
right.
way. He's in position.
Oh, yank him back again. Zach
Hits
is
it. Buckshot
just-
connects.
all over Daniel Bryan.
His
And see,
arm, though,
people how they
has
said
took some
that
damage and he can't
this
get
is
the
much
cover.
like how UFC pay-per-views happen every day. Right, but those happen on Saturday.
Taking his time,
You still have
going
Sunday
over.
to
Swerve
fucking
is
sleep.
right next to the ropes.
Hey, Nene!
1, 2, oh,
One,
Chris Nana.
two count.
Yeah, shocking the ref saw that.
That would have been a fucking ending with no bill, but there you go. Big
Chris Nana
applause.
just
This
got
is an
caught.
outstanding match.
Right. The modern day New York Sack Exchange.
Well, he has got a
Really?
choice. He could disqualify. Swerve
Because
couldn't
I
he?
don't think that was.
Need this.
They're
Didn't
also
need it.
very positive.
It just needed
Not
Swerve to put his foot on the rope. That's all we needed.
Korea's
Referee
That
is
match was
arguing
a
with Chris
barn burner. If
Nana.
I'm being hypercritical.
Hangman
I would
going
have just
for
liked to see a little
the
more
buckshot.
momentum swing for Bryan into
Swerve
that.
uses a chain while
Just
the
as
ref
all
distracted.
Saber, and then 2 means later, it's not Saber.
What was it? What did he hit?
That
Like
was-
a
That's
chain.
a hyper kick.
you have to have that chain, that connection, that build right before you get the
Yeah, I'm
payoff.
glad
Even
Chris
if it's a
Swerve didn't win
surprise,
by cheating. I
backslide,
know he's the
whatever.
heel,
Oh,
but
all of a sudden
I
hits
want to see him
one,
get a
2, 3.
clean win here
Because it
on
was like
Hangman.
spot,
Get to
little bit
as
of a
much clean as it can be
pause.
now. I mean,
A
there's
bit
been
of a
plenty
pause. It
of
felt so
antics.
slow chugging through it.
I mean,
Took
he
away,
should have lost,
yeah.
really, if not
Bryan
not
got his
moved his
hand out,
foot.
calling Saber over for the
Kick coming in
handshake.
again there by Swerve.
Hopefully, he has a cool name. Christian and Adam Copeland doesn't have a good
Swerve.
ring to it.
With
Christian in
Hangman beats
Copenhagen.
I was gonna say Christian and
Swerve.
Kobe.
1, 2,
Christian and
3.
Kobe come to
Swerve
the ring.
wins.
So that's what we hear.
Kobe
That's
Kingston.
so hear them start
It's the
done.
right
And so
result.
Hey man, what?
Best match
Saber won't have
of
no
the
issue.
show so far
shake
for
hands with
me.
Danielson.
Oh, Danielson wants a mic. Don't grab a mic now.
Crowd definitely appreciate it.
Again, we're gonna get our flipping through. When the fuck was this
In
supposed
your
to happen?
scores, what do you score out
him.
of 5, that one?
This is the same company who had an announcement that he never can move more than that.
This
5 out of 5, says one man
On
wrestler.
Twitch
Mitchell said it's a 4 for me.
TV / The Crown, live Tuesday at 7.
So we've got Embassy making their way down.
Kenny Omega will promote another video game on a Twitch stream because we won't fix our game. That took over a year to make, and
Sorry,
still
Swerve,
is a
just a
fuck. Not have Kenny Omega 101 and Con I Am.
Sean
I
Kemp
will
is
not
in the
pick
crowd.
it with green eggs or ham.
Right.
But I think
He's got momentum. Many Swerve. He's got
Bill
momentum.
Bailey sucks.
He's
5 out of
starting
5.
to
Holy
really
shit.
feel like a name.
No.
Next, some announcements
Demetrius
trying
Thompson.
to start.
No, I didn't buy your
About who the pillars
I
are.
guarantee fucking
In,
and you're everybody go to the snacks booking is me.
I don't think the pillars, I
agree
don't
with
think
that.
ever
Start off with,
represented the biggest stars.
Judas in
Because you would probably have put Kenny Omega and like Chris Jericho in
5
the
and
pillars.
2.
I think the
By the way, get
Pillars
your
are
predictions in on this match. As Jericho and the Golden Lovers will take on.
Actually, I mean, but they're homegrown, AEW homegrown prospects. Like the next way, these are
The
the four that
Ocho,
are going to
Chris
take
Jericho.
over on their ads. These are
The demo god.
AEW
Yeah, well,
homegrown.
that's very much been. Well, speaking of the Ultra,
It's
now I just
interesting. It's what I just think
old strategy con. Let's see how it works out for him.
Could he be
AJ, you guys
Swerve?
are funny. You try.
Ricky Starks.
We do.
Does
Me
MJF
or
graduate
some
from being a
shenanigans
pillar
matchup.
now? I mean, is the AEW
I
World
don't
Champion? He's
pistol
not
with the next
prospect.
person who says shenanigans. Hey, Barbara, what's going on?
Is
All
Takeshita
doopy shit on the
on there?
wall.
Maybe Takeshita's on there. Swerve.
Oh, you mean shenanigans? Oh.
Takeshita. Ricky Starks.
Jericho Gold Numbers for
Jamie
the
Hayter.
win. Team Jericho for the
Landon
win.
Judas.
I could think
Jimmy Hayter.
Mojo, Judas for the win.
Let's go. New pillars.
I'll listen to
Search about saying new pillars.
So long, my Ron.
Pillars are Swerve, MJF, Ricky, Julia, Orange Cassidy. I don't know that the pillars. I don't know that the
Because
pillars
most
were
Karens
ever.
don't think they're in the wrong.
he's so heelish.
MJF
He's so
surely has
caring.
graduated from being a
That's
pillar.
so Raven.
Everybody
Because
freaked
isn't
out
it
when he
like
hugged
about
Power,
being a
and then they
prospect?
broke up over the fact that Alex came out
Because
and
if it was
the dumbest
people
shit
that
ever.
were, the top, then Omega would have featured.
Right.
Omega would have featured, and Stu would be in homegrown, isn't it? I know it's all
The
based
Aldous
on
family,
the All Japan
according
stuff.
to Daniel wins, yeah.
But Mitchell says Swerve, MJF, Ricky, Julia. Swerve, MJF, Ricky, Julia.
DC, to be honest.
Trini says
Jericho
Rick
Omega,
Daddy
Golden
gives
Lover.
me soon to be with Cody vibes.
Yeah, Jericho.
The Joker says,
When you picking a favorite song, you have to break it down to like genre,
the one that was attacking people.
yeah,
I mean, what was that, MJF
100%.
before AEW, MLW.
Hello.
Into TV.
Now this looks like our job, bro.
If you have come
As
to
I got hold on,
AEW, I mean,
Uh,
what is homegrown for AEW? Like,
except now
We're
he's
saying
looking
that
like Coda
I think everyone's
Aboki,
definition of homegrown is going to be different. For me, if you've been on the indie scene and you've been performing in front of a few hundred people, it's very different to performing in front of thousands in arenas and being on network TV. For me, if you've not been on network TV and you've not been in front of thousands of people,
Now, and it's more of just, I haven't been impressed
then I
with
think
Coda
you
since
are
he's showed up in the He really is kind of showing.
AEW.
I
AEW
just
has made
hear
you, they took
because I'm
your
getting
profile
paid
from being
and
down here to
This
being
seems
up
like a
here.
one time, like, he's not,
I mean,
he doesn't
if
seem
you're
he's
coming
taking
from Impact,
anything serious.
if you're coming from New Japan,
And
or
not
you're
in
coming
any
from
sort of
Impact,
way.
or you're coming from WWE,
Canadian
I
would
would say
pick
that
tragically
you're not
him, but
homegrown
Nickelback
because
or
they have got you onto TV and they have done stuff with you. But I think if you are someone like
Wait,
Jungle
hold
Boy,
on for
I
1
don't
second.
know where
One, they
Jungle
are
was.
Canadian.
You know,
Two,
I'm fine.
I didn't pick any of those bands. He picked the
I picked Creed. That's not Canadian.
I definitely didn't pick any of those.
I didn't do nothing. You don't. What? Yeah.
Against
You're
Wheelie
trying to kick me now.
is underway. Going to be tricky for them to follow it up there. The crowd was very much.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit. I've heard of late show. This is really. They have the Last Supper paying up as the Titantron for the Talisman has. So we're building
on Wikipedia is
all the way to
the
the
bio
Palace
is Tony.
Christ there in the center.
Pro
Hey,
wrestling.
Dr. Cox from Scrubs. I am Jesus H. Cox.
Revolution.
Yeah,
Wrestling.
this is literally like, I know if anyone's playing like Mortal
Underground
Kombat
Empire
or
Wrestling. Oh,
fucking
Osprey, giants, aren't they? Giants of the modern
the fucking baddies were fucking out.
Jungle Boy can't be
Like
out
two
in
over
front of 50 people at the Revolution Wrestling.
This is just so funny because this is so over the fucking top here. As we're getting a excellent view Palace channel.
Yeah, genuinely, I don't know what the pillars are classed as. I always regarded it as being homegrown, prospect, supported by. If I was, doing it, standing on them kind of a thing. Other place than I'd say Jungle Boy is at the moment.
This is just such.
Ricky Starks is making some progress. Sam is doing some good stuff. MJF's obviously the champ. Sam is doing some good stuff. I like him in the Don Callis family. Darby. I feel like he's in the mix, but he's just in the mix. I don't feel like he's
Canadian.
I think they're really investing into Keshta. I think they're really investing in Swerve.
That's the
I
thing.
think Jamie Hayter, man, when she comes,
Jericho
they
versus
qualify. Maybe she doesn't qualify when she comes.
Jericho versus
But not qualify. Maybe she doesn't qualify. I'm stupid to realise you've already been replaced as a pillar, and Britt Baker is, so he was kind of suggesting that he's
we really haven't
Baker is
seen
the
a full story build on this, and we're going to see how
But I never took it that those are the biggest names because you would have had the Bucks and you would have had Kenny Omega and you would have had John Moxley and you would have had Bryan Danielson and you would have had like all these other people. So I never took it that the pillars were the biggest names. So it's an interesting conversation to know when it's going to be what makes a pillar a pillar.
What is the chant that they're singing?
James said, I can't wait for the reaction Jeff Perry will get when he returns.
Like, yeah, you see, I did that. I got him over. I did that.
Is Big Bill?
And Aubrey's repping again, so see, she's doing back-to-back double
Big Bill making his way
100%
down to the
going to
red.
get that fucking quota.
So Big Bill,
Remember, you're my number one
crowd
customer.
a little bit quiet. Hard to follow up that last match. Ricky Starks with
What else we got going on?
Willie
Love Billy
clanging him
Talent.
down.
I love Peter Grace.
Kick out there by Willie Utah.
Sorry.
Sorry, people keep throwing them out. Big Rex so
Well, when you say like Billy Town, I was like, Billy Idol,
It's a nice day for
Starks has got Willie Utah in.
I can remember the band.
Bang, down he goes.
Superman's dead.
Starks rolling through to shoulder up by Willie Utah.
What?
Got John Moxley back on commentary. Big time. So who are the four pillars in NXT?
I'm gonna have to
Going
take a
with
coffee.
Carmelo, Io, Wesley, Tiffany. Well, no,
You know what?
I'm just talking about. I don't
I like
quite know what makes it a pillar.
I don't love Rush.
To be honest, because as I said, I don't think the biggest names you've got. Otherwise, you would have had Kenny Omega. You would have had those. So I don't think it's
I like Rush.
I don't think it's the biggest names. I feel like it's the biggest prospects that are like coming through. So like these are the people that are going to support. These are the people that are going to.
You like the Seattle? See, we're back to Seattle.
Shout out to Seattle Music Scene.
Because I think we looked at MJF, Sammy, Darby, John Boy as all having real potential. Like they were people that we didn't know much about when AEW started. I mean, I didn't know anything about them. So when the company first started,
No, I was reading through because we got Sum 41, Alanis Morissette, Ludwig. Now we just moved on
put the
from
work in and got them
matches.
to the
We
levels
reached the
that
point
they're
of
at.
saturation here.
And I think the plan was these are the 4 people that were going to build the company around in the future. So, like, you know, we could say the pillars in WWE might be Grayson Waller, Austin Theory, and people of that ilk.
I checked it off my bucket list when I saw
On the outside, Big Bill going into a ring
That's
post.
that's a band
In
I
regards to
literally have.
NXT, it's tricky because
stickers on
obviously
the back of my car. Stories now.
the pillars might be the
Oh, yeah,
people
I'm
that have just been
big.
signed
Everybody up and over.
that are going to go on to be champion.
Does that count as a three-way? Pause.
Who's only had a few matches, but I think
That's
could go
a
to be
double
women's
way
champion
there.
in the future, and I think she could be someone that NXT is supported by in the future. Pick out by Ricky Starks.
Ooh.
That's Miles Kids.
Yeah.
Miles Bourne.
Sly still on?
He's someone that I think they trained Brinson Jensen. That guy. He's been working with like Drew Gulak or whatever. So it's a bit trickier in NXT because they
Like I said, we've just gone on a
produce
tangent.
talent that then moves
It's
on.
good. It tells you how much people are really into the match right now.
They don't have like a
Yeah,
set
well, that's
roster,
the thing.
if
Is
you will.
thinking
It's, you know,
somebody mentioned it
constantly
while you were
evolving.
there. Look at the talent that we have in the ring and how it's
Down
being used.
goes Wheeler Yuta.
Yeah, I
1,
mean, again,
2,
like,
3.
I don't
He
know
starts,
if it's
picks up the win.
what, but like I would love to see Kenny in like, you know, if this was Kenny versus
Conclusively, Ricky Starks says good old JR.
or something with Kenny. I'm giving Kenny credit. I just think he gets buried in all these field matches.
He's getting buried, and I think also a bit so is Takeshita and so is Ospreay. That's the thing. Is
Okay.
this match is doing more to
Ron
benefit of
Pillman was
Bushi,
king of
Sammy, and
Botchamania.
Jericho than it is to help Kenny, Takeshita, and Ospreay.
That's not that many with the look of Kalani Jordan.
Fair enough, fair enough. I can hear it.
Brendan says, thoughts on Wheeler Yuta. I think he's been overpushed to start his career.
That
I
song
think he's
really
alright.
was
I'd
a
much
fucking
rather
breakdown.
him
Let's
in
go.
Blackpool Combat
No.
Club than when he
If
was
that song didn't have the
originally
breakdown,
best
that's not as good of a song.
friend.
If that didn't have
Yeah, I think
It's like Mona Lisa would be a shit dating if it didn't have a smile.
Exactly. No, that's not as crucial as that.
You put it in there. I mean,
No, I'm saying that the breakdown in the air tonight is more
I don't,
crucial
you know,
than
Wheeler
those
Yuta in a segment I don't get very
That's the song.
because if so, this is oh man, okay, now we're talking.
Fair enough.
Actually, it was funny. Bare Naked Ladies almost got kicked out of the place that and they didn't do anything wrong. It was just,
So we're seeing a picture of
like very
Danielson's little girl.
We play this guitar after 10 o'clock.
That
He was
idea.
like, rules, man. And
All about the rules.
but he was good about it. So.
Well, he didn't work for AEW because that's a place where the fucking rules don't matter.
I can't beat.
Moose felt with the knees up from Kenny from Ospreay.
There you go.
Team General, Mercury's. Yeah, I like the Team Mercury's.
Danielson says, I
I
want
like
to
his-
fight the
his
guy
covers
who
and
calls
his
himself
kind of
the
plays.
best technical wrestler in the world.
Havana was pretty good. You got Nickel.
One of, what's that? Richmond, North of Richmond. He just did a remix to that.
Okay,
Oh,
very
really?
quick
Yeah.
little
I
video
haven't
package.
But it's okay.
That's
Whatever your thoughts of this show so far have
Lawnmower
been,
Well, now we're just. What we just did? Are we talking about
It doesn't
Lawnmower
matter.
Man, the fucking movie?
this really is the whole point of the show.
By the way,
for
that's
me.
how you know you're
This
of a certain
match right
vintage. You
here
know the movie
is a match
Lawnmower.
that we have
that was
wanted
an
to
actual
see
movie.
Classic.
Even
Oh, Omega,
Danielson
arrested.
was in WWE
Oh,
and Zack
Jessica
Sabre
pulling Omega
Jr.
into
was
the
in the
corner.
Cruiserweight
Omega
Classic back in
corner. We got the whole
2016.
chain.
This is a match which for years and years and years people have wanted to witness.
I'll be looking and calling this.
It's a match
Oh,
we were
she
meant to
did
get
the
before,
fucking,
but we never did.
I'm there the fucking take their fucking hands off the connection there and everything. But yeah,
It's a match that we're getting
your mother
right now.
fucking scoring it because you made a mess before
This will
Jimmy
be the
here.
reason why a lot of people are watching this show.
You guys think Edge is showing up?
Let's go.
I'm hoping because people will forget about other stuff. Because he does.
I'm still saying that.
Uh,
I'm sure. Be prepared to be disappointed.
Days for AEW World Champ Bucket says Hulk is not an L. Zack Sabre Jr. In the
I said
corner of the ring.
everyone here has probably tried.
Oh, just out there, but
Moxley said
two-
the cows are coming home,
two
the
guys,
chickens are coming home.
No, it's all right. Ibushi kind of broke it up. This is a sloppy, slow
Is,
six-man, guys.
Danielson
Anybody
there?
else in the chat want to talk about it? How do you feel? But to me, this is a funky, slow, contrived six-man match for me.
this is you hit a spot, I hit a spot. You hit a spot, I hit a spot.
And it's not even smooth.
Okay, here
though. It's
is
just
Danielson.
you
Danielson
know,
making his
Brian
way out.
and
Got a
so
Blackpool Combat Club
smooth.
jacket
They're
on.
silky smooth.
Green and blue trunks. Danielson with his arms in the air and a great reaction by the fans.
Awesome. Match on Twitter was awesome. Yeah.
Oh, well, no, I was just.
Finally, this thing is going to go down. We got Zack Sabre Jr. standing the one side of the ring. And we've got Brian now, spoken about so many times. Be alright.
How the fuck? All right. I apparently need to go do my fucking.
Here we go. Bell has sounded Danielson against Zack Sabre Jr.
Oh,
So we've got him forward trying to grab well side as well. These two being very, very respectful of each other. Danielson grabbing up hold of the leg, single leg, and Danielson backs away. Zack Sabre Jr. I really like this because it's a different start. It's really not often, or really at all, that you ever see matches kind of start in this way. With this kind of like nervousness that is
Penny's
grabbing.
above him as well.
Looked like he was grabbing at the side of Danielson there, but he reorganized ahead. And I suppose that's the way to look at this, is that these two are doing exactly that. They're thinking, right, if I go for this, then I've got
It's
that,
just kind of the way it goes. I mean, it's kind of the same.
the other person's like, I'm in this position. I've got a very much thinks that moves their heads.
It's not always the case.
If you do this, if you do that, I'm doing this. If you put me here, I'm looking to
slow as fuck. These guys
do this. And right now, we've got Zack Sabre Jr. working on the arm of Danielson. Zack Sabre against the right goes over the top of Danielson. Danielson with a kick toss, but Zack Sabre has applied an abdominal stroke.
Yeah, this match is sloppy.
Now we've got Danielson, lovely reversal.
Man,
But Zack Sabre Jr. with a reversal of his own. And now we've got Danielson trying to get round, dragging Zack Sabre down, going for a pin actually.
But man,
Went for a pin. Oh, look at that bit of a calf crusher being applied by Danielson right now. Grabbing a hold of
show
the
up,
arm
hang out for a few weeks,
of
get somebody
Danielson.
over, and then leave again. That's it.
What's really interesting with this is that when
Good
someone
match, nigga.
wrestles
Oh, come on,
with
nigga.
Danielson,
Let's
you will
talk
see
about
them
it.
get frustrated quite often because he will out wrestle them. So they have to land like a big shot to rock him and start wearing him down or whatever. What we're seeing here is we're seeing Zack Sabre going hold for hold, move for move, like hanging with Danielson as these
There
two.
goes springboard. Drop kick.
I imagine that Dave Meltzer has just melted into a pile. It's just right now. Both go over.
Kenny up and
Their
over.
legs both tangled up. They
Down
bridge
goes
up. They're on their head.
Down goes.
Flops. I thought they were going to do the spot where they slap each other. They might have gone for it. But Danielson very quickly trying to get a hold of the arms. Zack Sabre back up on his.
Other matches on this.
You would do
Who's a better
There's
match?
obviously going to be